You have to run
I was
the
been an
clip,
idiot.
Byron.
You guys ready?
Yeah. Is this thing on? Is it rolling? Here we go. 3, 2.
You are listening to the Lucha Central Podcast Network. And now, LuchaCentral.com presents Masks, Mats, and Mayhem.
I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
Welcome to another edition of Masks, Mats, and Mayhem. I am your host, Justin Outlaw Harvey, and this is episode 180. I'll give you my socials first. At Justin Harvey 75 on everything. The whole show can be found on the socials at MMMshow 75 on everything. That up there is at Byron Fever.
Catch it.
There is at Meef Loaf. And it's hard to believe, first of all, it's very hard to believe that we have done this 180 times, considering the fact that, I don't know, every now and then we just take like a year off.
We managed to keep our entire fan base as well. Welcome our one viewer.
All
now.
to the,
From Australia.
to the ones listening around the world. First of all, I got to say this. There is a reason we're back. And no, it's not because you need us. We know you don't fucking need us. And it's not because we need this, because this is an absolute giant fucking pain in the ass sometimes.
Yeah.
That's not why we're back. We're back because everyone else is so full of shit. Nobody can seem to figure out wrestling or lucha libre or anything that goes on outside of their fucking kitchen lunchbox or whatever the fuck they have going on. So we're going to clear some things up tonight just because we fucking felt like it. Other thing I want to say before we go any further is if you're coming here for a Lucha Underground update, I'm going to give it to you right now because we're not going to spend 5 fucking hours at the end of this show talking about some episode of Lucha Underground. You can't even get the goddamn show on Tubi anymore. Lucha Underground, I'm saying it. The guy who fucking loves it with the other guys who fucking loved it, it's dead. Lucha Underground is so fucking dead. And if you didn't believe it was dead, Wade Barrett is the best heel color guy in the world on the worst wrestling show ever made for television. Penta and Phoenix can't win a fucking match to save their lives, even if it's the best match of the fucking night. When was the last? Does anybody remember the last time? Tell me what the last big match that Pentagon won was. Fucking crickets. Can't believe. Okay, tell me the last match that Ray Phoenix won that you remember. Fucking crickets.
One of the
Hey,
tournament.
But Ricochet won last week.
Who?
Yeah, she won. Jesus Christ.
He's got a belt for his pants because they keep falling off, even though he's got that big old butt.
Well, usually he uses 21-year-old sold him, doesn't he?
I don't know who he is.
Anyway, so the moral of the story is MGM has been sold now to Amazon. Amazon owns the television rights now to Lucha Underground and the exhibition rights of the product and can sell it however they see fit. Who knows if they move it around or put it up on Amazon.
Still can't get it in the UK on Amazon.com.
Yeah.
On the Prime.
On the Prime there in the UK you can get it. So all right.
Yeah.
Well,
No, you can't get it. You've never been able to get it. Because the licensing rights, I imagine because they sold some to Germany, they kind of had it on hold and never actually sold it to the UK, and so therefore it's kind of in some weird.
Your audio sounds a little glitchy, Meef. I can still understand you, which is amazing because even when your audio isn't glitchy, it's hard for people to understand you. But I am giving your audio a vote of no confidence, even though fucking Boris seems to not go that way. I'm sorry. Am I bringing up politics? Is that a bad thing to do on this show?
It's
probably a bad
idea. You guys want to talk abortion or gun control or anything?
I do. Oh no,
Don't We've got like 4 people watching. Do you really want to piss those 4 people off? Anyway, by the end of the show, we'll be up to 40. I promise. And there's some.
Can you hear me now? By the way,
I
got to run a commercial right now for us if you don't.
All right. So wait, no, don't run the commercial yet. Let me get off to a commercial. Let me get off to a hot start here. All right. First of all, 3 weeks ago in wrestling, I want you to think back to 3 weeks ago and the state of wrestling and what was going on at the time. It was a slow build back to, and this is one of the reasons why we're here right now. All of a sudden, wrestling is exciting. I'm not saying that because all the products are good.
This is 3 weeks ago, though.
Because they're not. But 3 weeks ago, we started getting glimpses of the fact that wrestling could be interesting again. That there was something happening. And that something, believe it or not, at the time, was Eddie Kingston. Of all people, Eddie Kingston. Mm-hmm. And again, like, we've said good stuff about him in the past, and he's been having his moments or whatever. But you started seeing these glimmers of something from Eddie Kingston, and the guy cuts a fucking promo. Okay? He really cuts a promo. Then all of a sudden, Matt Hardy cuts a promo. Like a good one. A couple of good ones. And I'm like, I don't care at all about Matt Hardy. Does anyone give a fuck about Matt Hardy? No.
I'm concerned when I see him walk.
Exactly. So he's not the guy that you all of a sudden expect to see do anything that you care about. And I don't give a fuck about him and the Young Bucks either. Like, I get it. It's fine. But they should have done it the second Jeff walked in the door before he got even partially broken. Let's be honest. Like, it should have been, oh my God, Jeff Hardy is here at the pay-per-view. Hardy Boys, Young Bucks. Like, it should have been the next day. Like, there was no reason to drag it out and wait until now. And nice piece of business the Bucks did for them or whatever. I get it. I 100% get it. But what I didn't get, what I wasn't expecting was Matt Hardy to cut a couple of good promos where I was actually like, oh, shit. He's putting in an honest day's work here. This is actually like good wrestling stuff. These are good promos. This is actually building some hype for a match that I don't care about. I don't know that it made me necessarily interested to see these guys lock up. But anyway, we can talk about that in a minute. But this slow build keeps happening. Then you've got this weird shit going on with Adam Page and CM Punk where, you know, Tony Khan is letting this 2 babyface thing happen, which WWE would have never done. And it's still weird. But at the same time, weird is not necessarily bad because for anyone who's kind of in the know about wrestling, you almost need it to not be working to be interested. Like, what are they trying to do here? And then those kind of things keep happening. And we're building to this moment now where you've got some MJF stuff going on. You've got this Cody stuff going on. You've got weirdness with Edge and Judgment Day. And you've got top guys getting hurt, CM Punk getting the belt all of a sudden, and a bunch of dudes from Japan that we all know are on a bus to America. And it's like all of a sudden, to me, wrestling is compelling. It's interesting. There's something going on. It's not just Roman is the top dog and the only thing to watch on television. Now, I want to get into some of those things because, dear Lord, there are some people out there that just don't have a fucking clue as to how or why some of these things could be happening, should be happening, or where they could possibly be going. And look, there's speculation and there's whatnot, but people are so fucking stupid. And I want to start with Cody Rhodes. I was going to start with MJF, but I want to start with Cody Rhodes.
I don't think Cody's that stupid to start off the list, though, to be fair.
No, it's not. It's not. But I think the reason why I want to start off with Cody is because Cody wins. Cody wins. I think he beats MJF. He beats CM Punk. He beats Edge. He beats all the other news that's going on in wrestling right now. I think that Cody Rhodes wins. And I'll tell you why in a minute. But I want to know what you guys think about the current state of Cody Rhodes For those who don't know, he's got a case of the perps. I don't know what's going on there. There's some purple, and things are torn, and things don't flex. And then he did a match at Hell in a Cell. So, what do you guys think about the entire Cody Rhodes situation?
I think the biggest takeaway of this is, because I talk wrestling a lot with my boss at work, which kind of gets
a lot with me too. We
with you.
Work friend.
But we also come from different perspectives. Like, we work in TV, we know entertainment, but also I feel like whatever inside I would know is different than his sort of inside takes. He's a much more traditional WWE fan. But we both were talking, and it's just Cody Rhodes is a top guy, like all capital letters. Like, this aura around him now is different than it was 2 weeks ago. He showed up in WWE saying, "I'm the best wrestler," right? Everyone says that. Cody says it, and everyone's like, "This fucking guy," you know?
If you say so. I didn't have the same impression even from him coming in at the beginning, but whatever.
But I also like he's always been working. He was throwing shots at Triple H at the first AEW show because he was born in the business. He knew at some point that sledgehammer gimmick could make money down the road. You know, he's still working in sledgehammer gimmick, right? So, you know, I wouldn't hold his statement against him, really, but now it's kind of true. Now you see him walking around and you're like, this guy is the new Hulk Hogan, John Cena.
Austin Theory's their new John Cena.
Yeah, but no, he's the.
I think it is. I think it's probably Cody now for a couple of reasons, but I don't know, Meef. What's your take on Cody?
Well, no, just one more thing. When he took his jacket, his robe off,
you liked that because you like when men take off their clothes.
The whole crowd, the whole sold out arena, like
the big reveal.
Yeah, like everything he does is over. Everything. So
you're a little choppy again, Meef, but I want to hear your take on Cody.
Well, no, just he has massive balls for obviously wrestling with that massive whatever's happened to his pec.
I agree.
Yeah. I mean, I was just like, holy shit. And then it was like, then I was looking at the coloration and I was like trying to think, have they painted it up a bit? But no, it's in the pictures in the thing Byron shared earlier on. And
yeah, it's gruesome. Like, it's legit gruesome. But here's the thing that I want to tell you. Here's the thing I want to talk about. And here's the thing where it's like, oh my God, how long have all of you people out there been watching wrestling? You people, and I include you in this one, Byron. How long have you people been watching wrestling? There's injuries.
Yeah.
There's injuries, okay? There's injuries that you need to go and get fixed before you come back and you do anything, okay? When was the last time that you remember somebody coming back from an injury when the wrestling company told you they were going to come back from the injury?
Okay.
It is never, ever, ever stated accurately by the wrestling company. So my first shame on you, especially to wrestling journalists, even dirt sheets, whatever they want to call themselves, is shame on you for posting what WWE has told you about Cody's injury as if it is news.
All right, I have something to say about
that. If it doesn't come from his doctors or maybe somebody in his camp, or I would even maybe take Brandy as a source, you know, but you're taking what WWE.com is going to report the next day. They're feeding it to you the day before, and I'm supposed to count that as news? That Cody is going to be out for 6 months on a torn pec that he just wrestled with, by the way. Because I got another theory
building for him to surprisingly return at something, is it? You know.
Exactly. And here's the thing: I don't think he was off on the front half of that promo. I think that there are chances that you would see him at Money in the Bank. In fact, I would go so far as to say that right now, the current plan is for him to not only wrestle at Money in the Bank, but to win it. Everyone's saying, oh, he'll be back in time for Royal Rumble and he'll win that. No, that's too long.
That's what I texted you.
What, you did?
That's what I texted you.
What, that he'll come back by Royal Rumble?
Are you just talking shit about me right in front of me?
Yeah, to be fair, you made a shitty point. Even Casey disagreed with me.
No, I like your other point, Byron, and I'm going to give you credit for this one. That if Cody cannot make it at Money in the Bank for some reason, like a doctor tells him no, that if that can't happen, you give it to Seth. You let Seth win Money in the Bank, and then you have some options to get Cody back in the mix whenever you want. But
Cody, like I said, all you have to do is get Cody to chat shit about him, bring him into a thing where he puts the Money in the Bank briefcase on the line. He wins it that way.
Cody is but Cody is on the posters for Money in the Bank to the point where I was getting the posters for Hell in a Cell and Money in the Bank confused. Okay. And you want to talk about the other reason why I think Cody is the winner of the week, why Cody is the big dog. We're not just talking about the legacy. Okay. Like Triple H wrestled with the quad thing. There's guys who've gone out hurt before. These things have happened. Here's the overall picture of what was happening to me. I tuned into Hell in a Cell for one reason and one reason only. I was like, is there any way, is there any snowball's chance in a hot, fiery hell that Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes, who are not bad workers, but is there any way that those two guys can somehow get in the Hell in a Cell cage and top any of those highlights that you know of and that you think of when you think Hell in a Cell or even a cage match? Can they top the big boss man shit? Can they top Mick Foley and Undertaker? Can they top any of, you know what I'm talking about, Byron.
The Michael Hutchins.
I'm saying, even going back to NWA and Mid-South and like some of the iconic cage matches of all times, I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck can Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins do that would ever resonate past this one night?
Yeah.
And whether it was a work, a shoot, a happy coincidence, or whatever, Cody Rhodes made that moment happen. That will be legacy highlight reel stuff for his entire career. Him coming out of the stage at WrestleMania would be one of them. Nobody's even going to remember that he wrestled Seth Rollins at that WrestleMania 10 years from now, but they're going to remember that he wrestled Seth in Hell in a Cell. Yep. They're going to remember the purple nurple. They're going to remember all that. So he gets the iconic moment. Not only that, but they stuck it to AEW by driving around a giant truck with a sign of Cody Rhodes on it in Vegas during their pay-per-view. And when people were coming out and in, all you saw more promotion for Cody Rhodes at Hell in a Cell, a guy which a lot of AEW fans still like. Perfect advertising for WWE. Yeah. They've paid a lot of money for this guy. They bought his entire gimmick from AEW and they put it in WWE so they could do exactly this kind of stuff. There's a reason why he's on 2 pay-per-view posters in a row.
Yeah, they're selling the new unrivaled Supreme Cody Rhodes figure that you could buy from AEWshop.com.
Well, look, they put his face on these giant billboards, drove him all over Vegas during the WWE events, or during the AEW events for a WWE show. Now, there's more story behind that show that we can talk about with Hell in a Cell or Money in the Bank. But that to me is genius. That was the ultimate fuck you of look, no, we're the ones that are going to get the lasting legacy out of this AEW. And that may or may not be right, but the statement has been made. The shots have been fired. WWE referencing Cody and his friends, referencing the throne thing. They're actually taking shots back at AEW now. I don't know if they're working because I don't know that it works to acknowledge the other guy.
Here would be the question. Was AEW thought that they would get some rub from signing ex-WWE guys to help with the company and finances and advertising. has it worked as well as Cody jumping back?
Right. It's like, and this is why I say
That's how
Cody
you do
wins.
it, and that's why WCW
Cody wins, and WWE is winning to a certain extent in this war because they signed one guy for a big number, gave him what he wanted, but they signed the right guy at the right time, and they've done the right thing with him for what they need.
That was part of the magic of the Monday Night Wars. Like we just saw the Jeff Jarrett interview. I almost misspoke what it's the Broken Skull thing with Steve Austin, and it's like, and he showed like he jumped a few times, and that was part of the aura of Jeff Jarrett, and he would jump and cut a promo and shoot and get fed up and then leave and do it at the other place and go back and forth, and he ended up, he was a nobody gimmick that wasn't working in the modern era, and he was able to kind of adjust and keep fresh, keep exciting until he was world champion, and that's part of it. And that's why, like, it's great that WWE took Cody Rhodes, and it's great that AEW can get like CM Punk or Bryan Danielson when he lets a contract out.
It pays off for some guys to be loyal, and it pays for some other guys to move around. Like, look, if you're not getting there, if you're not moving up the ladder, and we'll talk about MJF shortly because he's the guy that people think is going to be the current example of that. But it's look, there's a time and a place, and there's different routes, and there's different roads for everyone. Like my advice to any of the boys is don't give up on it. Don't give up on it, because one door might shut and there might be an opening somewhere else later, somewhere down the line. Yeah. Like, and for fans to not give up on your favorites, like if you think they're your favorite, keep supporting them and help them find a way to get to the place that you want to see them, because there's a way.
MLW. The AEW thing though, because AEW will sign ex-WWE guys. Now, all the WWE guy has to do is wait a little bit, and when WWE want him back or his contract's run out with AEW, he goes back to WWE because he's like, oh, I went there and it was shit. And all of a sudden, he's the biggest thing in WWE because the fan base is at war. And it's like, that could be somebody as low down as, I know you like Ricky Starks, but that kind of talent. He could be main event. Yeah, but he could be main event WWE, be just out of the basis of moving.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think that when people leave the WWE, it's seen broadly by a lot of us. Sometimes it is, but I don't think it's seen broadly as a huge loss for the company. Whereas if AEW starts losing guys, it will seem like more of a loss to the company. Now, at some point, they're going to have to cut some of these guys.
Yeah.
Look, I even look at Ruby Riott, for instance. Okay, Ruby Soho, whatever. Yeah. She had some good stuff going on in WWE. She clearly, her name was out there. She wasn't like, knocking anybody on their face, but she was good. She was solid. People liked her. There wasn't anything wrong with her. She did absolutely fine. She may not have been your absolute favorite on the card. She may not have been a skyrocket to the top of the card, but she was doing some good stuff. She had some hot angles. She had some moments. They bring her in to AEW with big fanfare, and boy, has that cooled off. Like, with what they're going to do with her and what they're doing with her now, and if they're doing that with 15 to 20 different talent, how is that sustainable? Like, a Ruby Soho doesn't really present enough for them for what she's getting.
Well, Britt Baker is still their top person, and Britt Baker is pretty mediocre.
Well, I think
I like Britt for different reasons, but
I like Britt a lot, and I think she's improved a whole lot, and she also helped carry the division when they like the big appeal of AEW's women division were the Joshi wrestlers. I'm going to not be able to say words.
So then why are you paying Athena and Ruby Soho almost as much money?
Well, here's what happened. The pandemic happened, and they're like, this is what's special and unique about our division, went away. It's like they had to make up for it. What's up, Goatsy out in New Zealand, Australia? But yeah, so like they had to retcon and figure it out, and Britt Baker became the sports entertainer they needed, and she carried them for a while, and she became way better than most of the people around her until now. Now you have Tony Storm. Now you have, you have Athena, but you have just everyone. And now Britt can't keep up in the ring with them. Well, so like
I look, I hear you saying that. I hear you saying that she can't keep up. I'm gonna say it this way: she's not currently keeping up.
Yeah.
I also believe, and I think we've had this conversation before ourselves, I also believe a little bit of that is intentional. Like, she's not in the big program right now. She had a long time to do it. She knew that they were going to cool her off a little bit anyway. So there's no reason to go hard right now. And like I was saying to you, I think they should bring back her talk show. Like, I hate that everybody in WWE has one. Like, let's keep it to one or two of these things every now and again. Hers, I think, should be the one at AEW, and they should bring it back. But let me, before I get too far to AEW.
And like right now in her group, Jamie Hayter should be the one who's getting the in-ring focus.
Yeah, she should get the time. She needs the time too, anyway. I think you're right. Listen, I want to finish up talking about WWE a little bit.
I still wanted to talk about torn muscles and
we're going to, and I'm going to circle back to that because you mentioned Jeff Jarrett. And there's some funny stuff. There's some fun stuff about Jeff Jarrett right now that I want to talk about. Jeff and Stephanie McMahon and a few other things over there at WWE that I don't think people are really getting a clear picture of. First of all, remember that billboard I was talking to you about that was driving all around? That's Jeff Jarrett's job. That's where that came from.
That's what he was doing before the pandemic too.
That's Jeff Jarrett, guys. There's a reason why people are like, oh my God, Jeff Jarrett's back at WWE. Yes. And he's a vice president. Yes. Of doing what? Live promotions. Live promotions. Because Jeff Jarrett, not unlike his dad, toured those shithole mid-South towns half his fucking life and went back to those same goddamn rooms over and over again. And every fucking week he saw his dad and those old guys and Jerry Lawler and everybody figure out how to pack those rooms when they did the same goddamn thing last week. Jeff Jarrett is the right guy for this particular job.
He is out
here putting up he's the guy that can say, what do you mean? We're doing a show in Vegas. You guys couldn't sell fucking tickets to a 70,000 seat place. You hired me to figure out why the fuck you guys are planning shows in places that you couldn't fill. You put a show in Vegas, you put the tickets back on sale, and you're still having trouble selling them? Put a fucking banner of Cody outside the goddamn AEW show. That's how easy it was. That's Jeff Jarrett, guys. That's the reason Jeff Jarrett has a job, and there's a reason why Stephanie McMahon doesn't.
I was going to ask you, who do you think has a better future? It's a better standing with the WWE.
Here's the simple fact of the matter. Stephanie McMahon could come back to WWE at any point in time. She is, in fact, still a McMahon. But at the same time, please, dear Lord, do not tell me she wasn't fired. She 100% was. She bungled the fucking upfronts. She wasn't getting the new marketing down. She wasn't bringing in the new ad dollars. She wasn't cleaning up programming. She wasn't cleaning up the image. She was out there doing fucking Make-A-Wish handshakes still like they've been doing for 20 goddamn years. And that's not going to get the job done for the reason why Vince McMahon brought in Nick Khan. And that is to clean up that company so they can sell it.
Yep.
Period.
Everyone is sleeping on this. The information is all out there.
It's out there. And people are just now finding out that, maybe Vince pushed Stephanie out and this, that, and the other thing. Of course he did. It's a goddamn business. And he got an offer from NBC to buy the company when it was for sale 3 years ago. And it was nothing. It was pennies on the dollar. And it was offensive to Vince. Like, any wrestling fan knows at least partially what Vince McMahon is about. he's got a huge ego. And the simple fact of the matter is that was the biggest slap in the balls to him ever. He's been doing business with NBC since the fucking 80s, since those goddamn cartoons, since Saturday Night's Main Event. USA is Universal. Like, he has been in business with these guys forever. And they were like, hey, Vince, your company that's worth 40 billion or whatever, blah, 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 we'll offer you 1.2. And Vince was like, what? You can't tell me that guy's not offended to his core. So when Nick Khan comes in and all of a sudden Nick Khan is making big money for these people and showing him business models, Nick Khan's a smart fucking guy. If you've heard him, like I've heard the recordings from those business calls and the owners meetings and all that stuff that they put out publicly, that dude is fucking sharp. He may not be your favorite wrestling booker, but that is not what he is there for, guys. Nick Khan is there to turn that company's image into something that is more valuable. It is not about ratings. It is not about good storylines on TV. It's not about t-shirt sales anymore. Everything that Nick Khan does is simply to make the company have more value for a sale. Once it sells, guess who's still going to be there? Nick Khan
and Jeff Jarrett. Guess who won't? Triple H, he's going to be emailing his resume to Tony Khan.
And maybe, and here's the thing, maybe they'll bring
Triple H will be making a shitload of money.
Triple H and Court Bauer are going to be making Azteca Underground again.
Oh, no one's going to cry for anyone connected to the McMahons. They're going to, Vince is, and this is how Vince fired Stephanie. He was like, Steph, you got to go home. You're playing in a pond that I need somebody that's more of a shark. And they did just hire, by the way, Stephanie's replacement.
Yeah,
there is somebody else there now with all the titles and all the responsibilities that she had. Some of her stuff got passed to Nick Khan directly, and the rest of the stuff went to this new person that they brought in. Jeff is in charge of live events now. He's going to be the one guy left that knows anything about wrestling. And they might even hire Triple H back in or give Triple H a piece of the company or drop the price of the sale for him to stay on or do something like what Dana White did. I believe Triple H is going to push for that. And I think he's going to have a good argument. And at that point in time, Vince won't have anything to say. But Nick Khan already gave Triple H a big vote of no confidence. He gave
kill him.
Yeah.
He killed NXT.
Yeah, he just took NXT and he gutted it. And it cost us. I mean, guys that we liked, like Cross and Swerve, and those guys were just straight out the fucking door. No questions asked.
Karrion Kross got let go by WWE. He was ranked 16th in per PWI. I know that's a joke of a thing anyway, but it just popped up today. I had to laugh because I was like, that guy was 16th on that list, and he got fired.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Everyone has their head upside down about this whole thing. Everyone asked us enough, so we had a podcast for years. Is a wrestling company going to come back, right? A small niche TV show. Now you're talking about the biggest wrestling company in the world that has swallowed up territories. Now it's swallowed up WCW.
And somehow, Byron, we still know more than most people. How is that fucking possible?
And then you see someone tweet, oh, what is this? Where's the source on this?
It's not
Vince
hard.
Fired Stephanie. No, the company is not a McMahon company anymore. The kids are fucked.
It's a public company that wants to be sold. Yes. Everyone is still looking at it as wrestling.
What's the saying we always say, Justin? Follow the money.
Follow the fucking money. It's not like this stuff isn't secret either. But it's look, I know a couple of agents that work around. I know a few guys in the business that could give me a little bit of backstory juice and pretty much every promotion. But I get like one or two nuggets from here or there. Then I open up the trade papers. I listen to the business report calls. I see the writing on the wall. I listen to what they're saying, what the company's mission statement is. It's so obvious. How many shots of little kids did they have on Raw last night? Oh my God. It
was Cody as well, wasn't it?
And that's another thing that you do with entertainment presentation is if you want someone to be different, like I noticed this with MJF's rant, his promo, the cameras, the angles were different.
Yeah.
So you're looking
at I mentioned that too. I was like, this is weird. Why are okay? And I thought it was weirder with Cody. And then you pointed out that MJF does it too. And I was like, oh, that's actually the smartest thing Byron said this week.
This is different. This guy is different. And then Cody is different. The bar is really low. And it's amazing. But you like a lot of decisions don't make sense until you realize and put it in your head. WWE is being sold by Nick Khan, and everything you said, he's turning it into a specific type of marketable company. Think like, oh, you got the deal with the sponsor with the military and the toys, so now WWE can't do blood on purpose. It's along those lines. You have now, it's like people. I'm sure people working there wish they had, Aleister Black, Malachi Black, and Karrion Kross back, especially with all these injuries. These guys are big stars, and they could go out and put a match and entertain, right? But the thing is, those guys, like, their gimmick, what is the end point of what they do? Violence, hurting people.
Yeah,
that's bad. That's sad.
I mean, hey, look, Goats, you're saying who would buy it? Look, the Saudis. First of all, the Saudis are like stealing golfers today. Maybe they would buy it. I don't think
they're buying football teams.
Everyone said the same thing about UFC. Like, who would buy it? Well, a new whole thing came out of nowhere to buy it.
Do you think they tried to buy Undertaker's contract from Vince?
Jesus
I bet that at one point they asked.
Yeah, but I mean, look, Patrick Whitesell and Ari Emanuel basically bought UFC with their company, and also Dana White bought his own company from himself as part of the deal.
Oh,
it was brilliant. And look, both AEW and WWE are looking at the UFC right now because the UFC's TV deals are spectacular. The way that they do pay-per-view is spectacular. It is a very simple business model. It is a very affordable business model.
Shit.
That's true.
And it's getting better. It's getting better, but there's still some issues.
How much money they make?
Yeah, but
it's smart business. That's the problem.
No, Dana's fighting it tooth and nail to a certain extent because of the fact that he knows it's going to change. But it's fine. So he capitalizes on as much money as he can before it changes. And the pay structure actually has slowly changed in UFC in the last 3 or 4 years. Once they got past the Reebok deal, that opened up a lot of things too. But if you look at what UFC sold their TV rights for, if you look at what they're selling in-show ad rights for, merchandising, all this stuff, like they're doing some things very, very correctly. Now, WWE does merchandising better than anybody still.
They do a lot of stuff.
Even when it's shit.
Yeah,
even when it's shit.
They do a lot of like entertainment production better than anyone else.
Yes. And what they have to figure out what to do is how to play in the pond with the big fish. How to do what Uncle Dana did to get the big sale of the company now so that Vince can get his umbrella. He was hoping that the XFL would be his umbrella. That didn't happen. He's got to figure out a way to get out of WWE because, very simply put, Vince is mad, he's offended, and he doesn't want to die with that company in his back pocket. It's like on Survivor when somebody gets fucking ejected and blindsided with the idol in their pocket. Vince McMahon will not be that guy.
You know what it's like? It's like when he bought WCW for like $100.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to beat WCW.
For 30 years, WWE hasn't done a pay-per-view in the UK. There was a Judgment Day thing, but that was a bit weird, and Capital Carnage. But they come back. They're doing this big thing in Wales. The tickets were ridiculous.
Yeah, I think when everyone finds out what the amount of money that Vince is charging for wrestling tickets in the UK, that'll raise the value of the company alone because it's like, I don't know, what, 2,000 quid to fucking go to a wrestling show?
Yeah, my friend, it was going to cost him 1,500 quid for like the hotel and like because obviously the hotels in the area are going to bump up all their prices as well.
How much?
And that other indie show thing got canceled too, right? Because of the ticket prices and all that shit.
Yeah, exactly. So the whole thing is WWE as a product is something that towns, countries will pay to come because the local area will make so much money out of people, food, shopping in the local shops, and hotels. Hotels will be charging. It would charge £50 a night. Will suddenly be charging £150, £200 a night.
Look,
they can just it's some print money.
And the WWE needs that. So look, long story short, there's a business thing happening at WWE. There's a reason why NXT is the way it is right now. There's a reason why they need a squeaky clean babyface Cody to do a long, squeaky clean babyface Cody run.
If you need some cheesy babyface, that's what you need Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, everyone was super surprised. Like, oh my God, they really, like, Cody was super surprised that they were like, yeah, bring it on. Because it makes sense for their business model, and they don't have it in-house, and building it up without the legacy of Dusty on somebody else would be super fucking hard. And they're going to even have to figure out how to do it with Roman at some point in time. Don't think that Roman's not going back to a big face run and sometime in the near future.
What does Cody have? Like you just said about Dustin and Dusty, he has family values. Yeah,
he's got the American in his moniker already. When he came in, he can come out in the red, white, and blue, and as for much as he tries to be a badass, as for much as he wanted to be a heel at one point in time, or still thinks about going heel, his value is in the fact that his charisma isn't through the roof. He has to work really hard at it. And there's a reason why he went out there with his shoulder like that. He had to do that. I know a lot of people are like, it's the stupidest thing you could do. Why would you risk that kind of injury? And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. And I had a conversation with Cody and Brandy, and it was about that chair shot that Cody took.
Yeah.
And there was a moment I felt exactly like Brandy, like, this dude's a fucking clown. Like, that was the dumbest shit ever. But there is this look in Cody's eye where at the time, to him, that chair shot meant the world. To him, that was what he had to do for his boys. That was what he had to do for the business. That was what he had to do for the company.
For the love of the game.
For him taking that chair shot meant so much to him. And I'm here to tell you that what he just did with that arm is 100-fold of that to him. And he's right. Because without that moment,
it makes him like the ultimate baby heel, forcing way up.
Yeah, but that's actually who he is. He actually deserves all the credit that people are giving him for doing that, the stupidity as well, because he actually, honest to God, is that guy. He is that guy that feels so much pressure, so much of the weight of the world personally on him. When he says that shit about how he wants his daughter to see the future and to see that moment from him where he put the fucking world on his back for a goddamn entertainment wrestling show for my $50 on a pay-per-view or whatever, he fucking means it. He's crazy, people. And people don't understand that. He's not right in the head. He grew up around this business. He's a carny. He does not think like normal people think. Of course he went out there with the purple arm. The second he realized that he could still perform any kind of match, he got determined in his head to not only go out there and still main event, because it would be so screwed up for the main event not to be there. I can't let people down, bro. Like, in his mind, it's Matt Riddle talking. That's the way Cody thinks. Like, it's not smart stuff necessarily, but it is true. It is real passion. He really wants it. Vince cut him a deal. Vince told him, they laid out all of the stuff that Cody was going to be able to come in there and allowed to do for the next 2 years if he didn't get hurt. And Cody is looking at Vince right now and saying, I don't care if I'm hurt. I'm doing it anyway. Stop me. And the only way that he's not going to do it, the only way he's not going to climb that ladder at Money in the Bank and take down that fucking briefcase is literally if Brandy or a doctor pins him down. I'm telling you, my prediction is Cody climbs the ladder, he takes that briefcase, and he does everything that him and Vince laid out before he even signed that contract. I think he's still going to do all of it, whether it's smart or not, whether it causes more injury. And think about it. He went and did the pay-per-view on a 100% torn pec. He's going to be 70% healed in 4 weeks. You think that if he's willing to go out there and wrestle on a 100% torn pec, he's not going to be willing to go out and wrestle on a 70% healed one? He absolutely would.
The storyline writes itself perfectly and is just so easy, but so, magical in the entertainment aspect of it. He goes out there, he's shuffling around, he's hurt, they fuck him up, they send him to the back, he fights off the doctors and Brandy, he climbs the ladder because everybody's down after a big spot, and he grabs up. That moment of him sat there fucking holding the briefcase with his big purple shoulder, crying his eyes out, half broken. Everybody's invested emotionally in that.
And look, there's no easier match.
That's the highlight reel.
There's no easier match to protect one guy in. Yes, somebody's going to have to go out there in a Money in the Bank ladder match and almost die, but it certainly doesn't have to be Cody. It wouldn't be Cody even if he was 100%.
I think he has something to prove. He's going to have to. He can't bleed. So
he's going to go out there and do 3 or 4 spots, like spots.
Yeah, like
that's Jericho, all he's got to do.
Like Jericho in the what's up, Cat? In the Blood and Guts War Games match, he came out and he did 3 things. Those are 3 big bumps. One of them was off the top.
Right, and I don't think Cody's going to take one off the top, but he'll take maybe somebody coming through him off the top through a table. He'll take maybe a ladder falling on him or something crazy, or maybe he'll take a fall on his feet off a high ladder or something. Where he can break something else.
Something like
that.
Leverage gangs up on him.
He's not going to do an elbow drop onto the announce table from the top of a ladder in the center of the ring. He's not going to be that guy, but he wouldn't have been anyway.
How far away is Money in the Bank? A month, right?
Yeah, 4 weeks.
So it's hard for me to. I mean, I guess
it's hard for you to imagine a guy that injured doing something stupid like going out and wrestling. Yeah,
no.
Hey, look, I'm a Cleveland Browns fan. How many? But Baker Mayfield couldn't walk last year on that fucking foot, and he fucking played every game.
The thing is, I have this brace because I just completely ruptured a bicep tendon, and I had surgery on it, and I'm trying to heal, and I am 4 weeks out right now. I'm
Byron.
Okay,
we're normal humans.
But listen to me.
We're normal humans as well.
I can't stretch. I'm doing great. I can't stretch my arm out all the way.
Byron,
and on top of that, he needs to weight train still.
Byron, if I told you right now that I could guarantee that you secured the legacy of everything that you've tried to do with your life up until now for all 56 years of your life, if I told you that I could guarantee the legacy of your entire existence and a fat paycheck, and that your daughter and your family would be taken care of for the rest of your life, that you would walk into that Hall of Fame, that you would do everything you ever told your father that you would do in life. If I told you that, would you risk it right now and go out and play a hockey game with your shoulder like that?
Right now, I could physically not actually do it.
Nah,
okay,
this is no offense to you, Byron.
That's what I'm saying.
If I gave you an arm brace that you could go out there and play in, that you could at least hold your stick, that you could at least go out there and hold your stick, and you might risk more further injury by going out and doing it.
At all.
You wouldn't do it?
That it's not whether I would or wouldn't or how much it would hurt. It's what can my arm do now?
Saying
4 weeks
still
afterwards.
Go out there and limit
it. Look, I don't have full range of motion.
But you don't need.
Let alone
you don't need 2 arms to wrestle.
I still can't flex this muscle.
But you don't
need both arms to wrestle. You might need both legs, but you don't need both arms.
Right. Yeah, so one little punch shuffle.
I mean,
I just did a Peloton workout from a guy that's one of their instructors now that only has one arm, and it was an upper body workout. It was fine. I feel jacked.
The thing is, as well, is these people have
neither does Cody.
Crazy painkillers.
Reach up with 2 hands.
Well, you don't need 2 arms to climb a ladder.
He needs 2 arms.
You're telling a disabled veteran with 1 arm that he can't paint houses for a living?
He can. How are you gonna get?
What about that Gower,
Byron? You can't lift both arms over your shoulder.
Watch it, Byron. Watch it. I'm just saying. Disabled people can function, man. I'm saying.
And also, Byron, professional athletes are a different breed of mental
100%.
And physically what they can do. Because we have footballers in this country who go out with thigh injuries. Now, football is a constant running sport. They have torn thigh muscles.
Is that why they fall down all the time when no one touches them?
Yes, because they need a break.
And also, Byron, football is a ridiculous contact sport compared to padded hockey, where drunk men just like to.
Here's the best advice of the night. Give your brace to Cody. Haha, from Goatsy.
Cody, reach out. I'll send it to you. I still need it. I still need it for a few more months.
Well, you do. You need it for a lot of things. And I'm sure you're enjoying The Stranger immensely these days. So keep it going. Look, we can debate it forever. The simple fact of the matter, that's what I think. There's reasons why I think that. I've talked to some people. I've met the man himself. I've seen the look in his eyes. I see it right now. That is my assessment of the situation. I'm not saying that it's 100% going to happen because I think there's a lot of factors that are out of his control. But I'm telling you, if Cody Rhodes has any ability to make it happen, he will be in Money in the Bank and win.
I mean, that's the plan. That's what he needs
and
to
I
do.
think it's still actually the plan. And what they're going to do with the plan is just like what they did on Raw last night is if that A plan can't work for some reason, then they start peeling it back little by little to plan B and keep as much of plan A in effect as humanly possible. All right, Byron, you got one of those commercials ready? Run a break.
What are we running a commercial for?
You're supposed to run commercials. Isn't that our deal with Kevin Cole?
Freshness of the salmon is what really brings you in. It's saying you just bit into something magnificent. I started doing food reviews in my car around 2009, and then my life changed. I'll go just about anywhere to get some good food. I'm only here for one reason and one reason only. That is to devour. That's looking real good right there. Every bite has to be an experience, and I'm gonna take you for that experience. You too. I'm the captain now. You know I'm not leaving until I tell you what my favorite fried food in the city is. It hits all the spots. What I'm looking for is some good chicken and waffles.
Let me tell you about this chicken.
I mean, chicken dry.
It's dry, we don't want it.
So you talking juicy?
It's got to be juicy.
Is this what you do?
I mean, this is what we do.
Boom, boom all over the place. Boom, boom in my face.
It's the most decadent burger that we have ever made. Starts with 1 pound of Wagyu on there, truffle cheese, gold, billionaire bacon on top, big lobster, gold dusted bun. It is the best burger you will ever have.
Me and the burger are having a moment.
All right, enjoy your burger.
All I need for you to do for me is keep it crispy. I had to kiss it. Just give me a moment. I have moments with my food. I love you, man. This is fresh, fried, and crispy. Want to know why I call it a hush puppy? Did you hear me say anything while I was chewing it? Hush puppy.
Yes, now nominated for 4. Count them 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now nominated for 4 Emmys. 4 Emmys.
Boom.
Fried and crispy.
I
will get none of those statues, by the way. What's that, Meef?
I actually made hush puppies because of that show.
They're so
And
good.
also, I want that.
How can I get them right now?
I want that waffle and chicken, and I also want that fake chicken, the vegan chicken. Oh my god!
H Salt Fish and Chips, right around the corner, Byron. They think they're still open. Out on your end, I think they're open till 11. Oh well, that was pre-pandemic though. I don't know post-pandemic what their hours are like.
Right now.
Anyway, yeah, the fish and chips place, H Salt.
Are they still around? I don't think they are.
You've got one over in Toluca Lake right there, and then there's one up in Reseda. Closed permanently
on Vineland.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I didn't know that. Shit, I wasn't there not that long ago. Anyway,
or maybe it's closed right now.
Hopefully, Kevin Kleinrock will show up because Lucha Expo is coming up this weekend in 50 at the 2300 Arena in Philly, and I know there's a lot of great stuff going on, but he's been knee deep in that shit. So hopefully he'll be able to pop in and tell you guys all about it. We do still love Lucha Libre too. There's just so much going on in the world of wrestling right now. Do they do Triple Mania multiple times a year now? Triple Mania is like 3 times a year now, right?
Triple Mania, then it's Triple Mania Backlash.
Yeah, then... like what the?
Triple Mania Judgment Day.
I hated that about Backlash too. Like it's not WrestleMania Backlash; it's just Backlash. It's just shitty after WrestleMania pay-per-view, whatever. Anyway, we got to get to a couple of other things because guess what, guys? Are you feeling hot? Is it getting to be that time of year? It's boiling, right? So it must mean that it's time for the summer of punk. Or not. The shortest summer of punk in history. Oh my god.
What injuries did he got?
He broke his foot. He needs surgery. Who knows how long he's going to be out.
I know exactly.
He's not a professional athlete anymore.
I'll tell you exactly what's going to happen there too. because it's the same story as all the other stories. The injury is not entirely what they're going to make it seem like, so that they could get a little pop of him coming back. Like they were hoping that he could survive. He cannot. There's no way he can do Forbidden Door. It's unfortunate that they chose to put the title on him the way that they did, with this being the case, but it just is the case. This shit happens in wrestling. It's super duper unfortunate because
it keeps on happening a lot though these days.
Well,
like
in
Finn
AEW
Balor.
especially because it's a little bit looser in a lot of ways. But also their guys don't go as many times a week as the WWE guys, so they feel like they can take a little more of a chance sometimes. And are not protecting them to do, an in-store 3 days later or whatever. They're just trying to protect them for TV, for longevity, for the most part. It's really a TV company. The first thing I want to say about Double or Nothing, and yes, I am going to get to MJF, but the thing I want to say about Double or Nothing is, to me, the booking for the matches that were there, the booking that night, to me, was flawless. I thought every person that was supposed to win did win. Now, whether or not it should have been planned out before then for Adam Cole and Britt Baker to win their thing, or for CM Punk to be champ, for some of these rivalries to happen, maybe or maybe not. But for what showed up on the night, I think it was all done exactly the right way. Am I wrong, Byron? And
Where
you can say I'm wrong. I mean,
I think I watched it with Casey, and he was in. Those are long days for us in general because we get up at the crack of dawn. We're eating conveyor belt sushi by 11 a.m. on those days. So we come over, then we go to my place. We watch the show, and it's like a 5-hour show.
Bro, I'm on the East Coast now, and I'm here to tell you, as much as I agree with the booking. Yeah. And I heard this media scrum. Listen, I watched the whole media scrum directly after the thing too. Yeah. I watched that entire rambling, coked out fit that actually, I don't even think it's cocaine. I know people who do a lot of cocaine and they are not as spasmodic as
the Prime Minister of England.
Is that Adderall? Is that
it has to be like Adderall. He has to take a lot of naps, and he also just has to kind of really be like really into
He's a little on the spectrum. He's a little bit on drugs. He's also very excited. He's a little bit of a mark for himself, and coffee and everything. But oh my God, that media scrum. What?
That was great. Defended CM Punk.
I was watching that like a car wreck. Like I was just like, what? Why are you still talking? Why are you telling me about this story in a back room with you and Jim Ross? Like, what is happening here? This is not, you think you're Dana White. You're not Dana White. Yes, I talk a lot, and White. I would be afraid to have a conversation with Tony.
It reminds me of the person you take on a night out who's usually quite quiet but can't handle their alcohol.
Maybe.
And then
I don't know.
And then they try ecstasy for the first time.
So amazing. I don't know. Anyway, I think, look, the main takeaways were the Lucha Brothers are not allowed to win anything.
No.
They're allowed to be great. We're supposed to be told how great they are. We're supposed to react in the crowd to how great they are. We're supposed to treat them individually as top guys and collectively as the best tag team ever. Yet, we're never, ever supposed to see them win or have a storyline that lasts longer than a half a pay-per-view cycle.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate. I popped when they did the
I still think it was the right win. I mean, you can't put the...
But overall, would it be that bad if the two best, athlete stars of your company were treated as such? Like,
and I don't disagree, but this is also why you can't put them in against House of Black, who really needs that storyline to go somewhere, or that's been a huge waste. And that's where the investment's been. The investment's been in that storyline. So at the end of the match, regardless of how good it is or not, and regardless of even who the winner is, the finish there had to serve House of Black. It was the right finish. Bring in what's her face out, 22-year-old, to blow the mist, and she did a better job than Alistair, by the way, at blowing the mist. I mean, that was, I won't say it was Muta level mist, but it was solid. She did the mist thing the right way, and but it also made me realize it was like, fuck, that's how I would have booked it too, which means that they have to do something bigger picture, better with all of those guys. I mean, they're paying Pac an astronomical amount of money. He was one of the early signs where they felt like, okay, we're getting a big name that we really like from WWE. We're going to give him a bunch of money. We're going to stick it to WWE and show them what they should have always done with this guy. So Pac is Pac is making more than MJF.
I haven't heard of him doing anything. Like, I mean, I don't watch AEW, but I usually see, I haven't seen anything of Penta and Phoenix, but from when Penta became Penta Obscuro, and there was this big push for him, and then he lost a lot of matches.
No, there was a big new entrance for him. That's it. I mean, that's the thing. Like, why is he this new version of Pentagon?
Yeah,
they could have played with that with a little vignette. There was nothing. There was nothing.
There was a vignette.
There was a little vignette.
But I saw that. I'm just saying, like, that's not a story. And this continues to be part of the problem with AEW. Yes, there's great wrestlers there. Yes, there's great talent there. Yes, Tony Khan is very supportive. Yes, they come up with a lot of good things. But the long-term thinking, and I know that Tony has long-term plans. He does. He does think out some of the bigger storylines, some of the bigger things he wants to do. But then part of the problem is they're just trying to get to the story point instead of telling the story. They're not setting up who the baby faces are, who the heels are, or if they're real tweeners. Oh my God. The fucking match, Paige Van Zant's debut, first of all. I don't think that was a missed opportunity. Like, the booking was correct, but how they got there, why they got there, what they did with it, half the people didn't even understand and didn't see the segment where those guys stole the belts from American Top Team. People, wrestling fans weren't made to understand who Paige Van Zant is, and she is a huge star. She does not need to be wrestling. She makes no kind of money from it. She makes more money off of an Instagram post in 2 weeks than she will make in her entire time in wrestling. She makes 5 times as much money as Ronda Rousey did at the height of her career. Okay. She's gone to bare knuckle fighting. She was a pretty decent UFC fighter. She's one of the hugest OnlyFans and Instagram models out there. She puts out good content for what that is. If you give a shit about an Instagram model or an OnlyFans model in any fashion, she's one of the better ones. Like, I don't take anything. It's not my thing, but I don't take anything away from it. She's a pretty girl, and she can legit fight. And she was on Dancing with the Stars. And AEW gave us none of this shit. They gave us no story about her. She is a huge star outside of wrestling. She could bring in new eyeballs. Sure, the fucking people sitting there in the crowd aren't going to respect her as a wrestler. I get it. But also, isn't this the same company that told us wins and losses matter, that we're going to do a sports presentation of wrestling?
Rankings.
This is a person who is a legitimate fighter, can legitimately punch somebody in the mouth, knock them out. Why are they not using that to their advantage? Why are they not telling that story? No, she's not Ronda Rousey, but Ronda's never bare knuckle fought. Mm-hmm. Paige Van Zant's got 10 times the heart Ronda Rousey has. She does.
Oh, Ronda Rousey's just a fucking beige blob at the minute.
Yeah, and Ronda had her skill set. She had her time. She had her level of greatness. But I don't know. I mean, this comment is very interesting. What do you think about that, Byron?
Alex Abrahantes needs to go for managing them. I don't know. I mean, I think he's been doing a better job of staying out of the way. I think that's the thing they need to do, because he was getting really annoying. Not annoying, but he shouldn't be the focus. But then when Phoenix went out, he kind of was.
I know, but here's the whole point. They've got the guy there for the purpose of helping to tell stories for Pentagon.
Yeah.
He becomes pointless. And yes, any fan is going to think that now. Like, why is this guy here? Because they're not doing the thing that he was brought in for, which is to tell stories.
He's become more of a cheerleader, hasn't he?
Yeah, to help translate the story to American audiences of what Pentagon is. You had that in Lucha Underground. All you've got now is Excalibur sitting over there trying to tell us that this guy is one of the stars of Lucha Libre. Okay? And make me care. Give me a reason to care. This is one
He's
of
a
my big
star of
pushes
Lucha
right now.
Libre who hasn't won a match
But
in 3 years.
Yeah. So, but my point with Paige Van Zant and that whole match is you've got Frankie Kazarian, who's the only face in the match. You've got Paige Van Zant, who basically should be a face, but nobody knows because we've never been told where she stands on anything. You've got Scorp, who's fading in and out. You've got what's his face, ATT, who was cutting great heel promos for a while, but then they cooled him because Scorp was half going face, and then that fucked up the rest of the guys. You've got Ethan Page, who is a great worker, but him and Scorp, they've given me no reason to care about these guys. Like, somebody to write for them. I think everybody can be MJF. Not every guy in the back should have to be responsible for coming up with their own storylines. Please,
I think Ethan Page,
writer.
Ethan Page has it, and I think they're giving Scorpio a run, and I don't know if it's on purpose.
I think 70% of this locker room has it, but it shouldn't be on them to do it.
Like Ethan, but just with this specific thing, Ethan Page is definitely letting Scorp shine as much as he can during his run, and I get it, makes sense, and but the thing is, Scorpio is trying to work his way up to the level of being the TNT champ. Ethan Page is already he's already there, So if he were getting any kind of push,
okay, but tell me this, honestly. What? TNT title, while Cody was still with the company, do you felt like it meant more than it means right now? The belt itself is ping-ponged a couple of times.
Don't they destroy the belt every time and get a new version
destroyed
of it?
On television. It was just represented in a 6-man mixed tag on a pay-per-view.
I mean, what they're doing is they buy a crappy bootleg for those segments.
But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about the overall title picture. Your number 2 belt in this division, when Cody is not the one running the storylines from it, is kind of bad.
Hold on. I don't think it's just Cody. I mean, Cody was champ. That was great. Darby as champ was great.
No, I'm talking about when Cody was with the company, because Cody was one of the people that was really responsible for agenting and writing what was going on in that division.
Yeah, no, this whole thing was Sammy.
Was the run good for them at the time, or did it actually showcase the belt? That's what I would say. Was the belt actually relevant when they were doing well with Darby Allin? Because I was more interested, well, I say interested, but I saw some of the stuff that he was doing, but I didn't know or care about the belt.
No, the belt was it got established to be a very important part of the show. Like the main title, you don't see those matches all that often.
But I think you've got to go to Wardlow. I think you got to put that strap on Wardlow, or you got to put him in the title picture. They've spent all this time on him, and the MJF thing's going to be huge. And if you don't want to cool Wardlow after all of that work that you just put in to get the guy over, I think you got to put him in one of those 2 title pictures. I honestly think you put the TNT strap on him. I love Scorp. I just don't. It's just not his time right now. It's been botched for right now. I think you started off with he gets a little bit more of a thing as a push with Wardlow. You let him go back to being full heel. You have Wardlow take it off of him, and then you can get Miro in that mix. You can get Orange Cassidy in that mix. You could even bring back Kenny Omega and put him in there. Like, you could make that one of the biggest secondary belts in the business right now if you do it the right way.
It's difficult. The TNT belt has been in these heel.
And I agree with you, Goat. Say Penta should just speak Spanish. Go ahead, Brian.
He should. So the TNT title, those programs have been mainly like heel versus heel. Sammy turned heel because that. In all honesty, that's his natural. That he might be a nice guy. That's his natural.
Well, they ran with what was happening. I mean, look, he dumped his homely girlfriend and hooked up with Ty Conte. Of course, they put her on TV. They put him proposing to his homely girlfriend on TV. It's not like people forgot. And then Sammy was having a good push without all that stuff. But then the stuff about Ty gets out, and it's like, well, fuck. In this day and age, with the internet and whatnot, you don't have a choice. You kind of have to run with it. It's like, yeah, that was a dirty heel move. Like, think about when Cage did that, during the Lucha Underground era. You'd have to put it,
Are you reading this?
What's going on?
Then Brian Cage
comes
from
steals
for more though. Yeah, sure, that's gonna happen. Right after he cuts a promo and has a character that is an actual character.
But you could do that. You could have a Brian Cage versus Wardlow match just to get a little heat over to Ring of Honor. Because that's where Brian Cage is going to be. He's not going to be
the Ring of Honor guy would
Ring
be
of Honor,
Cage's character. Yeah, no, it would be a good match. He's phenomenal in the ring.
And that's the kind of stuff that Tony does that I like. That is really him being a fanboy, paying service to the fans. I do appreciate some of that. But also, Tony, keep that spirit, keep that mentality, keep that as one of your driving forces, but also hire a writer to make your boys look good.
Yeah.
Pretty please.
Yeah.
Stop letting Chris Jericho write 33% of the show and mostly for himself.
But speaking of Jericho, the thing with Sammy that I think is more than Tay, because there was stuff on the internet, blah, blah, blah. And they would maybe appear in a segment or two, but they weren't doing the tonguing on the TV. That is their gimmick now. They have to do on TV. You have to see them lick each other's inside of their mouths,
which is fine. But then Scorp is not the feud for him.
No, totally. No, the Scorpio Sky's messaging over what his character is, should we like him or not like him, has been completely all over the place, and it's bad because he's a heel, but he has all these face tendencies, and we generally want to see him do well. So he's not pushing back against that well enough. But Sammy also fell off when he left Jericho. Right. Jericho was coaching him all the way through, and that's how Sammy was able to stay as a disciplined babyface.
Correct.
Because that's not him in the ring.
All right.
And so,
listen.
Okay.
Here's my thing. Here's the last thing I want to say about it, and then we got something important to deal with here. The problem is that there are a lot of people in the back at AEW who are booking based on wouldn't it be cool if.
Yeah.
And we all agree. We say those things too. Wouldn't it be cool if? But also I'm saying, hey, Tony Khan, wouldn't it be cool if you actually told me a story? If you actually made me care about the moment that something is cool? Pretty please. Buy a fucking writer with some of your billions of dollars. Pretty please. All right. We got a special guest. We got to bring him in because we stole his airwaves tonight out of fucking nowhere again. We were just like, we're just going to hijack all your shit. But he's got, look, I halfway like the guy sometimes, and he's got this big thing that I hear he's worked really hard on coming up this weekend.
There's a few things, actually, by the way.
All right, well,
we'll see how much
on the show. Let's ask him about it because I don't pay any attention to his social media. I have no clue what the hell the guy does. Put him on the show.
Here, he's on the show.
Who's this guy? Who the fuck is this guy?
He's expolucha.com.
How shocked were you when we were like, hey, we're going to do a show today?
I didn't realize that, the fans were capable of getting back together. And,
yeah, we didn't know either.
But it's got to be a ridiculous hour over there, Meef. What the hell time is it?
It is 5:09.
So is this? Are you just up early, or have you not gone to sleep?
No, I did sleep yesterday. I went to the zoo with the child for the first time, so I was absolutely knackered at 7 o'clock last night. So I've actually got some sleep for a change.
He's knackered, but he's on holiday, and he's just changing nappies this week.
That's bold.
I think he's whatever that translates to. Anyway, guys, this is Overlord Kevin Kleinrock. If you don't know who the hell he is, I don't know why you're watching a podcast on the Lucha Central Podcast Network if you don't know who he is.
That's an impressive backdrop, by the way.
He's one of the jefes at Masked Republic, and they have this little thing called, what is it called? Expo Lucha?
That would be appropriate, yes.
What the fuck is going on with Expo Lucha this year? I hear it's out of control, and you've done way more than you probably should do for the fans, as usual.
This one has been a journey, man. I mean, we announced this one for 2020 at the 2019 Expo, and then tickets for it went on sale in October of 2019. and it's only taken us, nearly 3 years to get here. And but we're excited. Other than obviously the health concerns anybody has leaving their house today. I'm excited. This is my first live event that I think Mass Republic has been producing events for the last couple years. We had a number of shows. We've done 3 sold out shows with Agua Caliente Casino in Cathedral City down in the desert.
Yep.
We just did a taco and tequila festival in Kansas City last weekend.
You sold one of those shows out, and you were running against some other heavy fucking hitters that day too.
Yeah,
I remember seeing that, and I was like, "Oh my god, Kleinrock did a thing."
Well, and the thing, I haven't even been. Ruben's been running all that stuff. I've had very little participation in the. I haven't gone to any of these live events, and I haven't really. These are all Ruben's deals, which I miss going to events, but it's really kind of good that we've grown to a place where he can kind of run his operations, which are more the live events and talent relations, and I'm running our kind of entertainment content development and our licensing, keeping busy kind of separate but together. And so this is the first Mass Republic live event I will have been to since the pandemic started. And so, it's a massive one and we're excited.
Kevin, you got to answer this guy's question. He wants to know when Expo Lucha is coming to Australia.
I think the question is hell yeah, we would. Australia is one of those countries I've wanted to visit ever since I was young, and I've yet to
get don't there. Bother. The shithole.
Meek has some hard opinions.
Yeah, well, I mean, they did send all their convicts there to start. I mean, that's where the country came from, right? I mean,
and somehow they missed Meatloaf. We don't know how that happened, but.
No, I mean, listen, our goal with Expo Lucha is to take it worldwide. We purposely started with Las Vegas the first year and then San Diego. The whole point of taking it to Philadelphia for 2020 was because it was the 25th anniversary of Ray and Psychosis, Conan and Hoovy showing up in ECW. And, it's not just hyperbole to say that changed pro wrestling. The infusion of those guys, because
I will say hands down that for me personally, as an ECW fan, I came in a little bit after that, not a ton after that, but those guys weren't there then, and I went all the way to fucking Philly with a bunch of buddies in a car from Cleveland. And we went to our first ECW show. At that first ECW show that I ever saw live, I'd seen a few hardcore TVs or whatever. People were talking about that stuff. And I didn't know what the fuck it was. I didn't know who Rey Mysterio was. I didn't know any of the stuff. Then it was probably 2 shows later. It wasn't even a full tape trade. Like I got to hold somebody's tape for a couple of days. And it had the stuff on there. And I was like, what the fuck? What is Lucha Libre? Like literally, I am a wrestling fan that learned about Lucha Libre hands down from what you're talking about. I can personally attest to like it changed wrestling because guys like me were like, oh my God. And then those guys showed up in WCW and whatnot. And which wasn't very long after that. And it was just, and then I'm telling people like, fuck people throwing Coca-Colas at Hulk Hogan. You need to watch this dude that's coming up next. You need to watch Psychosis. You need to see Rey Mysterio. You need to see these guys.
Yeah, and so for us, I mean, and that's the show that we're doing Saturday night is called Under the Influence of Lucha Libre because it truly was, when Worlds Collide had happened, if you were a Lucha fan, it was an awesome time because Lucha Libre was finally kind of breaking through in the United States, at least in the major markets, in LA and Chicago. I mean, I remember the LA Times article, because I'm from Los Angeles. I remember the LA Times article the day after one of the sports arena events sold out, and it was just like thousands of people were turned away. But I only knew about that because I was in Los Angeles. I was in a market where it was running. And Ray and Nicho and the others coming to ECW was really the first time that it was truly integrated into American pro wrestling, and that just changed the game. Not just in terms of the product at the time. There's a whole generation of stars that have now grown up wanting to be Ray and wanting to be Nicho and wanting to emulate that style. I mean, that's even why, like, the opening match that we're doing on the show on Saturday, which we'll stream. I guess we'll hear it. I guess we're gonna breaking news if in case people couldn't figure it out, it won't be officially announced until tomorrow morning. But this will stream on Fight. So anyone around the world will be able to watch this 7-match, just jam-packed show on Fight on Saturday night, in English or in Spanish. And the opening match is.
Wait, is Kevin Gill doing the Spanish broadcast?
What was that?
Is Kevin Gill doing the Spanish broadcast?
No.
Can't do the L.
Hey, Jesus, aka Ricardo Rodriguez, will be doing Spanish with guest luchadors joining him throughout it.
Oh, that's dope.
And then the English will be the team that I put together for AAA, which is Joe Dombrowski and Larry. So they'll be doing the English commentary.
Pray to God that Hoovy gets the mic.
What was that?
Pray to God that Hoovy gets the microphone.
I mean, there has been there's a very classic Hoovy promo from that arena. The last time I let him have a mic in that building, and so
look, he can cut any promo he wants as long as he sends me a mad T-shirt before he does it. If not, I'm gonna silence him. I'm gonna Hoovy driver his ass. Send that shit back to Michinoku and tell him to fuck off because I want my goddamn shirt, Hoovy. Wherever you are, if you're listening to this, I want my shirt. Still, I don't care if the faction's dead. Now it's a point of pride. I want the goddamn shirt. All right, so let me ask you this though. All right, erase what you know, Kevin. Erase what you know for a minute. I'm a wrestling fan. I've seen a little bit of the WCW stuff. I like some of the luchadors. I like Penta and Phoenix and AEW. I maybe watched a couple episodes of Lucha Underground. Tell me why I'm showing up to the 2300 Arena. Tell me why I care about Expo Lucha 2022.
All right. Well, so there's two different things, right? So showing up in person, there's no convention like this on the planet. This is the Comic-Con of Lucha Libre. You're going to be able to go and stand face to face and meet icons and legends and current hottest stars of Lucha Libre. Ultimo Dragon, Dragon Lee, Laredo Kid, Taurus, Damien 666, Psychosis, again, legends and current stars, and you get to meet all of them, walk right up to them, shake their hand, take your photo, buy official merchandise, buy masks directly from guys from Mexico that don't normally travel. Even if they travel to the United States, they're not normally in Philadelphia. It's very rare to be in the Philly market. So you've got just the fact of when we did San Diego, there was a guy who I would say is probably in his 30s. And he came up to me, like literally tears in his eyes about getting to meet Octagon because he said, he's like, I grew up and he was my hero. And to think that I would actually like the thought of meeting him in person one day never even crossed my mind. It was just, there was no way I was going to meet this luchador from Mexico here in the United States. And so it's experiences like that you can't get at most other places. And even if you go to a lucha show with these stars, it's not the whole expo experience. And on top of that, we've been integrating more and more convention type of aspects. So there'll be 2 panels on Saturday. One on the past and present and future of Lucha Libre action figures. One of the best, maybe the most world-renowned expert on Lucha Libre action figures, Roy Lucier, will be there along with 4 reps from Boss Fight, the creators, the sculptors, the designers of the Legends of Lucha Libre line, and they all came from Hasbro. We've got some great stories.
Amazing line, by the way.
So,
one of the few collectibles that I have at all.
And I don't know if you saw the live unboxing last night on YouTube that they did of the Fanaticos, but those figures have taken a long time to come out because of COVID. But
right.
Like the Taya figure is seriously, I think, one of, if not the best female wrestling action figure that's ever been made. It's so good. Her likeness is better than any pictures that have been seen of it from the original kind of prototype and everything. Right. It's amazing. The new Hoovy, which is his ECW era Hoovy, is great. Penta and Phoenix, their new versions are great. And this line, so when our first figures sold out, the original Penta and Phoenix premium line came out. The premium line is the one that comes with 2 heads and multiple sets of hands and accessory, and it's cost around $38. So it's not for everyone, right? There's a lot of people that won't spend that much money. So we always knew from the beginning that we wanted to do a more affordable line that the kind of average collector fan could get. So the Fanaticos line is about $18 to $21, depending on where you get it. We stopped calling it our basic line because it's still more articulated than any of the WWE or AEW figures out there. So it's an incredible line. It's just a slightly less articulation than the premiums, but still you can put them in pretty much any wrestling move. You can pose them a million different ways, and the parts are actually swappable with the premium line. So you can swap your heads and swap your torsos and swap your legs, and all the people from Box Fight are seriously into customizing figures like in their own lives, and so these are kind of made specifically as well for like the wrestling action figure customizers and stuff. So really excited. And we're gonna have some more announcements, updated art for some of the figures that have been announced previously. Plus, we'll announce some other new products with Boss Fight this weekend as well. So really excited about that. And then we have a panel about the history of Lucha and ECW, where Psychosis and Super Crazy will be part of that panel. Fans will be able to ask questions about that era.
I'm a big fan of Super Crazy, by the way, because like I said, I was going to more shows later on. So that was the luchador that I got to see in person several times. And those matches and the Tajiri, like, just fucking ridiculous to me. And again, he's one of those guys I like. He's kind of like Mac or some of those guys that don't look the part necessarily. Like, you don't think he's going to be able to physically do some of the things that he does. And then you're like, oh shit, that guy just did what? I don't even know what the name of that move is. And it was crazy and it was awesome. And then he's just smiling. He's just happy. He's getting the shit beat out. Like, I'm a huge fan.
Yeah, he's great. I mean, I've worked with him on and off throughout the years. He did a run in XPW. We crossed paths, and he's such a great guy. He's always been so good.
Is he really always that happy?
Yeah,
he seems like a joyous person.
Genuinely just kind of, easygoing, mellow dude, which is great. I always appreciate that. And then we've got one of the other cool things that we're doing that we haven't really had time to even hype yet, but our friends at 2K have given us a plethora of WWE 2K22 video games, and we are going to have a little tournament where on Saturday the attendees can face off against our luchadors one-on-one in a game of WWE 2K22, and any of the attendees who beat a luchador are going to qualify for Sunday, where we'll do a single elimination tournament, and we'll be giving away prizes for those who come in the top brackets of that tournament.
That sounds fun. That's good stuff. That sounds up Byron's alley. How much?
Yeah, that's super cool. I already have 2K22, but I definitely would lose to any of those luchadors.
But you don't have the grand prize, which is the super promo, the Rey Mysterio promo pack that all the celebs and influencers got. That's the grand prize.
Okay, then I need. All right.
See, there's reasons. There's methods to the madness. And I love the fact that you guys are doing it at 2300 or whatever they're calling it now.
Yeah.
The not so ECW arena that last time I was in, it was a little scary because it was a more COVID-y time, but I was fine. I was totally fine at that show. Byron, however, got rabies on his face.
I got COVID from that trip. I don't know if it was.
But Byron, how many people can say they got COVID at the ECW arena?
Okay, can we not hype that right now?
No. I think I got it from the Lyft driver on the way to the airport because he talked a lot about how I take vitamins. I take care of my body.
You got a plane, that's probably where you got it from.
That's a euphemism.
Recirculate
vitamins. Anyway, no, it does sound like an awesome event. So you said how many matches? 7?
So
7 on Saturday.
7 on Saturday. So, and if you attend the expo during the day on Saturday, there'll be some matches as part of our Viva La Lucha showcase. We've got a match from Pro Wrestling Revolution in Northern California. We've got a match from Full Blown Pro Wrestling in Texas. We've got a match from Lee Valley Athletic Club in the Philadelphia area. and there'll be a few more matches. So that's kind of our independent showcase during the day.
Because that's what I would be all about. Is like I want to see the dudes go. I want to see the young guys. I want to see the new styles. What people are doing. I want to see the masks and the what people are wearing and especially when you get it's weird too because a lot of us wrestling fans, you see Lucha Libre and it's weird at first because you think of Lucha Libre and you think of seeing one guy in a mask or maybe a couple guys, but when you start seeing a lot of masks and comparing them and what they mean, then I honestly, when I see multiple luchadors together, I understand their masks better because you see the different nuances, you see the different styles, and people don't realize how much time and thought is put into some of these things, just like how much time WWE puts into designing a character and what they're going to say and do on TV. That is the mask in Lucha Libre. That it has to convey a story the second those guys get in the ring a lot of times because there's not a ton of mic work or other stuff. Like the story's there. So you see a lot of luchadors together and it's something. It's fun. That'd be the shit I'd be there for first and foremost.
Yeah.
That's just me.
Well,
I'd be getting bankrupt.
Do you think there's a chance to add another special attraction match called the MMMshow Open Challenge where Justin and Miflo have to fight anyone from the audience who doesn't like their faces?
Well, I mean,
I'll fight the Psycho Clown.
we got time to work some stuff in.
You're going to put that out there, and I may
them.
be showing up at this thing
contracts
on short notice and begging Kevin to let me in the back door. So don't do that to me.
Whoa!
Be careful, Kevin. He does that quite often.
We're a corporate podcast. We got to watch the language.
Did I say that right? I got all the words. I got the key words. Kevin,
I got you.
Begging, and backdoor. Right? I said all the right things in the sentence, didn't I, Byron?
No,
Oh, okay. Yeah, slip it. Okay. Correction noted. So
Justin.
have you slept, Kevin?
Not enough, but yes. No, we're can always use more staff. But we're getting.
Oh, so I can come and work the show?
What?
Yeah, for free.
So I can come and work Expo?
Oh yeah, hell yeah, yes, absolutely. Yeah, but yeah. So and then Saturday night the show, 7 matches. If you hit expolucha.com/ppv, you can see all the matches. And like I said, if you're not going to make it out to Expo, they will be streaming live on Fight TV starting 8:00. I won't run down all the matches because a lot of them are multi-men and we'll be here all night. But Dragon Lee versus Laredo Kid 1-on-1, which is a AAA main event on any pay-per-view. That's going to be a huge match. And it's funny because we signed that match as our main event 3 years ago or whatever it was.
Yeah, I remember
before
talking
Dragon
about
Lee was
that.
even in AAA. We've got Ultimo Dragon against Super Crazy. That should be just a really fun kind of throwback match. We've got Psychosis. We asked Psychosis to pick a talent that he thought had the future star potential. I mean, there's been so many like next Rey Mysterios. I hate to say next Rey Mysterio, right? Because there's only ever going to be one Rey Mysterio. Right. We asked him to pick, who is that next buzzworthy luchador. He picked Astrolux, aka Drago Kid from AAA. So they're going to team up against Damien 666 and Demus, who at one point was kind of the mini Damien 666 and has now become the arch rival of Astrolux on the indie scene. So that should be a really great tag match. We've got a really fun 3-way dance because it's the ECW arena and you got to do a 3-way dance in the ECW arena. But it's the lucha style 3-way dance. So it's mixed tag 3-way. So you got Lady Maravilla and Sam Adonis against Mr. Iguana and Kira against Reina Dorada and Papadon. So it's 5 AAA wrestlers and then Papadon from New York, who every time we've gone to Philly or I've done stuff in Philly over the last number of years, the East Coast, we've been using Papadon. Great talent. Not a luchador, more of your Dean Malenko wants to get in there and stretch the luchadors and prove that Greco-Roman wrestling is the true wrestling.
And with Iguana, that should be super fun because that dude folds in half from everything I can tell. Like literally, he can just be in a suitcase if you need it. He can bump sideways off of a tape. Like his body is very malleable.
Yes.
Which may or may not be a good thing for him. I don't know. That's He's had some good matches though.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad that you find that it's worth the money. I think everyone. That's the thing. You know, we've been growing the audience over the years. Obviously, this one is not going to be as big as the last few because it's in the 2300 arena and you can only fit like 800 people in that building.
But that's part of why it's good. That's part of why a show there is good. You are part of the show. There's a reason why that play, you know, and I've seen ECW in there. I've seen MLW in there, and this would be an amazing addition to all the things that have happened in that building with wrestling. There's a reason why wrestling fans go there. It's a wrestling building.
And I think that even though, like, you know, we might not, our expos might not have had, you know, 5,000 people at each of them, but the people that have gone, I mean, it's a huge testament to me about Expo Lucha that we have our like VIP gold and platinum tickets we put on sale that are like the biggest bundle you can buy. And we have people that have traveled the world, or, you know, the world, definitely the United States, but, and then some with us now who have gone to all three of them, or have gone to two and are coming to this one because there's no other experience like this. I mean, even, dare I say, even going down to a Lucha Libre show in Mexico City, yes, you're going to see a card full of luchadors, but you're not going to get the rest of the expo experience. You're not going to get.
Yeah, I mean, most of those guys are wrenching on Fords during the week. Like they're not all full timers at most shows these days, unless you're at a big AAA show. Like you're going to see some good stuff and some, you know, new guys, like you would at any indie show.
So so we're it's going to be great. Excited, very excited. And we'll have a ton more merchandise announcements and license announcements and other things coming at Expo Lucha and throughout the summer. It's going to be a big summer for us. You know, a lot of the stuff that we've been working on in the licensing space or in the entertainment space, you all know, you know, because you work in the entertainment world, this stuff doesn't take weeks or months. It takes years. Years. And so we've got licensed products, we've got entertainment related things that have been in development for years, especially with the pandemic. A number of products that we signed pre-pandemic will be announced throughout the summer, released throughout the summer. So it's going to be a very big summer for us. We're very excited, and it all starts, I guess, for us this weekend in Philadelphia.
Yeah, and look, every company's got to start somewhere. So people don't get it, but it's like, look, Disney is working on stuff for 2028 right now. Literally, that's what Disney is. That's what all the executives and marketing people and licensing people, they're doing 2028 and 2029 right now.
Yeah,
but they've also been doing it for 100 years. So they've got a leg up on you. But once you get the flow going of your licensing and everything, then it's a different story. So what you're doing now hopefully pays off 4 years from now. And this is the shit that, when we started doing stuff with Kevin that he was working on and telling us about back then. And here it is. It's starting to come to fruition. So congratulations to you and to Ruben. And like this show looks amazing. And I'm glad you guys were finally able to pull it off and that you're doing it in Philly still and that didn't go away as well. Cause that
was important to us. I mean, we never wanted to cancel it. It was painful to keep having to postpone it, but listen, it would have been cheaper for us and more affordable for us to move it to San Diego. San Diego's great. We fly everyone from Mexico to Tijuana for $100 a flight and drive them across the border. And Philadelphia sucks for travel.
I'm pretty sure, by the way, that I lost a bet by the fact that you guys didn't have to move it to San Diego, but it's been so long that I'm not telling that guy.
Wait, was that me?
Oh, shit.
Probably, Byron.
We're not going to.
It is important for us to take it to Philadelphia to pay homage. Again, even if it's the 27th anniversary now, not the 25th, but that building's so important. That's one of the other things. I guess I don't know if they fall into the friends of the show category, but guys that you know of, Dos Hermanos Lucha, who really do a big part in trying to preserve the legacy of some of the masks and the gear. And
those guys are cool.
They only buy authentic, they only buy masks and gear that they can truly trace the exact events that they were worn on, and they find photographic and video evidence of it being there. And so they're bringing museum quality display of a lot of early Ray and Psychosis and Hoovy masks and gear, and so they've got some Penta and Phoenix stuff and some other stuff. So that's a whole nother reason. And they went out and they had the Busio family, who back in the day was making Hoovy and Psychosis and Ray's masks.
Mm-hmm.
They went out and they had a brand new by them classic ECW style Hoovy mask made and a classic ECW style Psychosis mask made. They're going to raffle off to fans.
How do you buy tickets?
The convention.
You have to go buy them.
Oh.
Wow, I might now I gotta spend $500 on gas to drive to Philly for that.
Justin, I'm gonna Venmo you for raffle tickets.
All right, I'll put you in. I mean, but if you win,
I don't even think you have to pay.
it.
I think they've got a gimmick at their table. They got other ways to qualify. There's no money. You just got to get yourself in the front door.
Justin,
and take a left-handed body slam, and then you can get a ticket. That makes perfect sense. You know what? I'll tell you what. I got to talk to those guys too, because the show that I might be doing in the near future is all about the world's most whatever collections of things, and I can tell you more about it offline one of these days. But if I get this particular show, there's already been some talk of doing a wrestling themed episode, and I of course have to get my Lucha Libre peoples in there that have real collections. Beef loaf. But we're only filming in Los Angeles.
I was going to say, does your budget allow you to fight? That doesn't sound like a show that's going to
let you know what, my budget might allow me to do. My budget might allow me to do some interstitials overseas, where like I send a cameraman and a page of notes of what to do, but not the whole crew or the star of the show or any of that shit. That'll never happen.
Me. I'll go film it.
So so here's the question, and Pablo's asking this one: is this going to happen? Where's 2023? What's the next one? I know you haven't gotten through this one yet, but are you going to do it again?
That's a good question.
Let me right now. All my focus has been on getting on the airplane June 13th and heading home. And that's listen. Honestly, Ruben and I would love to make San Diego an every other year stop for Expo Lucha, for all sorts of reasons. But you know, a lot of it's going to depend. You know, we're trying to turn this into a real business in and of itself. You know, so working with corporate sponsors or trying to get corporate sponsors on board, the right partners, and so sometimes that's going to dictate where things go. But absolutely, I mean, like even though neither of us live in San Diego now, Ruben left San Diego right after the last Expo Lucha, not because he was getting chased out of town. He just moved to Las Vegas. The San Diego's home for Master Republic. It will always be home for Master Republic. And yeah, we do hope that in 2023, right? We being completely honest, we actually were looking at whether we could return to San Diego later this year, but the venue, there's just so much uncertainty still because of COVID, that we just couldn't make we couldn't get the commitments we needed to be able to start planning. San Diego.
And that's the other hard thing about this, which is why this is amazing. It's like you keep planning it, but what are you planning it based on? You have to base it on COVID futures and pandemic futures of like, what are the levels going to be here? What can we get insured? Who can actually come? How many people can we put in the room? And it changes. Look, bro, I did that TV show in the middle of the pandemic. We lost entire cities where they were just like, no, you can't film here. And then we did other ones like Savannah, Georgia, that would not let us B-roll outside. Think about how counter that is to what we know about the pandemic now.
That's weird.
They would let us go inside and pack some people into a place and film, but they wouldn't let us walk on the street with a camera outside in the lovely streets of Savannah, Georgia. It's just so weird. Like planning any event right now, it's a totally different ball game than it was 3 years ago.
Yeah, do you want to show the promo, Justin?
No, we've seen the promo, haven't we? Nominated for 4 Emmys, by the way.
Right.
Nice. And the other thing that we were up against, and we're still constantly up against, is the visa situation, right? Because the pandemic really slowed down the ability for talent to get visas, and we can't do. We won't. To us, the Expo Lucha brand means we are bringing dozens of talents from Mexico. Otherwise, it's an indie show, right? Why?
But I've heard that you guys are personally responsible for everything positive that's happened with visas for athletes from Mexico.
Now, but
because it wasn't Lucha Underground, they certainly didn't do anything for that situation.
But that's what I'm saying. Like now, like it took us until just now to and we still have some that are not done yet. We're fighting.
The Kingo one.
Was that?
As well. Vikingo, is he still having problems?
He's the last one,
I'm
right?
fairly certain he's just cursed when it comes to V's at this point. It has been almost a comedy of errors for that guy, unfortunately.
They're like, you're a Viking, we're not letting you in.
Yeah, no. So we'll see what happens, but So that was one of the other things, and hopefully that situation doesn't get hard again, because that would impact future expos. So we'll see. But I'm getting on a plane Thursday night, heading to Philadelphia. We're gonna have a huge weekend, and I hope to see people who are listening there. And if any of the three of you decide to show up, knock on the back door, and we'll let you in.
Yeah, he said he's gonna let me in the back door, Byron.
Let's do it.
Got him to say
it.
He's like, oh my god, I hate this show. Why did I ever let this show on my network? Anyway, thank you so much. Thanks so much, Kevin, for stopping by. We're happy. It was part of the reason why we wanted to come on this week again and bring our show back to life to help keep your show with all the life that it has going. And also, we got to talk about MJF next because that's fucking awesome.
You still haven't gotten to MJF yet. Oh, yes.
Right. Oh no, I can't. I had to talk about Cody first because I think Cody won.
Right. Yeah.
I think Cody is the overall winner of ridiculous things in wrestling right now that are going to matter in the future. And MJF is a close number 2, and we're going to talk about that giant number 2 right now.
I will tune in and listen from afar. So
thank you so much, Kevin. Thanks for being our overlord. I would say our savior, but Casey would be mad because that's him.
Talk to you guys later.
Cheers, brother.
Bye.
Byron, hit the button. Hit the eject button. Move all the people around. Shuffle the people. Shuffle the people. Why are you shuffling wrong? All right, listen.
That's where I was.
Do you have to run another commercial? Well, we had Colleen Rock on, so we don't have to run shit, do we? He just got a 20-minute commercial, right?
If you're listening to
God,
I'm just kidding.
Okay. If you're listening to this is that a Denise Salcedo? Oh my God. Since the last time we've done this show, Denise Salcedo is like still Denise Salcedo. All right.
No, she's doing great. Good for her.
Yeah.
Justin stopped talking about her in the DM, which is really nice. Made things more comfortable for the rest of us.
Nothing left to say, man. I've said and done it all. I didn't bust on Kevin about the microwave thing. All right, let me give you a hot take that you can piece out and get clickbait from. You ready for the hot take?
I'm ready for a pizza to show up at my door.
All right, here's my hot take on MJF. Thunder Rosa wins in a match versus MJF. That's my hot take. That's all I have to say about MJF because nothing else interesting has happened with him in months. Yeah. Why is Mel not on TV? Why? What? Look, I have theories and ideas, but come on.
Tony doesn't understand Latino people.
Is that what it is? I don't know what it is.
I think there's
he can name a lot of his friends of other colors, but he can't mention Latinos when he defends himself.
I think there's an element. I think Thunder Rosa is great, and I want her on TV more. I think that you you market the strengths of your talent when you're in Tony's position. But I also think that you can't just count on her to do a non-wrestling segment like you can others because of kind of the language and promo barrier. Her last promo was great, and maybe she's on something. They're going to continue in that, but it's not the same level of we got to circle it all back to Britt Baker. Like Jade is phenomenal. She's one of the best stars on the show right now until you have her wrestle. She's doing all of that Britt Baker with the broken knee stuff, you know?
But I'm here to tell you, man. I'm here to tell you. How long did Brother hold the title? How long did Hogan have a belt? No one ever said that Hogan had a great work rate. No one ever said that Hogan was a great in-ring performer. Anyone who knows wrestling would still never say that Hulk Hogan was a great in-ring performer. But they'll tell you that he was one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
Maybe not the greatest anymore, like they probably would have said at one point, but He was, because he could cut a promo, because he could get you invested in a storyline, because the things they built around him and for him and in him, the things they created, sold Terry Bollea as Hulk Hogan, this unstoppable, huge
superhero.
icon. And then Eric Bischoff did it again with the reverse, with the NWO. For whatever it turned into when it fizzled and went haywire, and for all of his shenanigans and politicking backstage or whatever, the Hulk Hogan principle is part of what is missing at AEW. And okay, fine. That's the case. You don't want to put Mel on TV for this, that, and the other reason. I love her to death. I think you guys can really make something out of her. But she can't have your belt if you're not going to have the belt on your show as something that matters. If you can't find a way to make her compelling as your champion and put her on goddamn TV on a regular basis, and they did the same thing with Hangman sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, how much did you see him? When they ran down at the pay-per-view the list of people he's beaten, I'm like, oh my God, don't publicize that. That is not impressive at all. That is not something you should be talking
Bryan
about. He's had
Danielson? Adam Cole?
Adam Cole has been what since he came to AEW?
Great.
He hasn't been not win-loss record-wise. Don't forget, this is the company that told us
He's
this
with
was a
his
sport.
friends, Justin. It's friends. EW.
But here's what I'm. But here's
Just
what
won the
I'm saying.
tournament. Just won the
But here's what I'm
tournament.
being the elite wrestling.
They're not telling me that story. I know that him beating Adam Cole means something because I am a wrestling supporter. I won't call myself a mark or a fan. I am a wrestling supporter. So I know what beating Adam Cole means. But this is what AEW doesn't do. Tell me what the story is. What is the story of Hangman Page? What is the story of Thunder Rosa? I know the story of what she is doing or what she means, but you're not telling me what it is supposed to be about. Why does the next challenge matter? What was the thing with Serena Deeb? I know that Mel handpicked Serena Deeb. They said, Mel, who can you go with? Who can you have a classic with? Who can you show people that women's wrestling is a fucking thing and you are great at it? And she said to them, Serena Deeb. And Dustin looked over at Tony and was like, hell yeah, I'll agent that match. I'll help him through the whole goddamn thing.
They did a great job.
And then what was supposed to happen after that is a producer and a writer were supposed to step in and say, all right, that's the program. Tony, we'll make that work. Tony did his part. He's the booker. He said, this is the match. He's the boss. He said, here's your paycheck. He's not a goddamn writer.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just got worked up about it. All right, MJF. I got to talk about this guy.
No, it is. I mean, but their program and their match, I think, show exactly, it proves the point. Like the program leading up to it was dreadful. All of their live segments were dreadful live.
I don't know if I'd say they were dreadful. I really liked Mel's last one.
Her last promo was great, but
I thought that the Serena Dustin one was a miss because Dustin should have talked in that one.
Something, but like I thought what she was saying was compelling. I didn't really get a bad performance out of it as much as a lot of other people did, but the pacing.
But that's what I'm saying. Dustin should like. I'm not expecting that Serena is going to come out of there and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, she's going to be the hottest promo in history.
Right.
But I'm saying you put a veteran like Dustin in there. I've seen him cut great promos. Most of them were in WWE, and the reason for that is, dun dun dun, Brian Gerwitz. Dun dun dun.
Yeah.
Vince Russo. Dun dun dun. Like people fucking wrote great stuff for the guy, and he delivered it. He knew what he was doing. He's a pro.
Yeah, and they
Vince Russo might have written that one where he was a ghostly figure with a hat.
Yeah, when he was 7 in WCW, he comes out and immediately throws it's the trash can.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But Serena Deeb, Thunder Rosa should have had that program, and they should have had it for the belt. Like they proved it when they had their match in like hour 4 of a pay-per-view. Everyone is tired, of watching, and they came in and they did their match they wanted to, and they won the crowd over, and it was great. Like they're really good at the things they're really good at.
The match was great. Again, I liked most of the matches, minus the Paige Van Zant 6-man thing. I thought that match just was a clusterfuck.
Also,
and there were some botches. There were some, but look, overall, there was a lot of great matches. That pay-per-view was too long. I understand why Tony did it. I get the whole business thing. I get the late pay-per-view buys. Let's just not do it again, Tony. It was too long. You have to take that criticism. Too many people who know too much about wrestling, especially the fans on the East Coast, we were not pleased with the length. Sorry about that. It's Casey's birthday, isn't it? I thought we were supposed to celebrate Casey's birthday for 5 months. There we go.
Casey's birthday, July 29th.
All right. So here's MJF. Let's talk, because people have it wrong. Let's clear some things up. MJF went on Ariel Helwani's show, and he went a little shoot. It was good. Helwani's good at getting people to kind of go there. He felt comfortable doing it. It was in a different environment. He was kind of outside the wrestling world. It was legit a shoot. He came into AEW, and he was making $70,000, which to some people, to some average Joes, that might sound like some money, but and it was probably more than he was making at MLW. And he had every reason to do it. He wasn't a huge name. Like, he did some good stuff at MLW, but that's it. That's literally it. He had what, a tryout at WWE or something, and that didn't work out or whatever. And he was MLW's guy, and he was mid card at MLW basically. And he knew how to cut a promo a little bit, and he was putting in the work. He was putting in the time. So by all means, you bring him in. Tony Khan was like, "Hey kid, I'll put you on the show and pay you a couple of bucks. Like, I'll give you some camera time." He was there. He was there, at the beginning, and he put in the time and did the work. Later, he starts moving up the card. Things are happening for him. Wow, this kid can actually really cut a promo, and people are responding to it. Some of his style, people didn't think it was going to get over. People didn't know if it was going to work. It did. It was the right crowd, the right time. He was reading the tea leaves the right way. He starts cutting great promos. He gets more money than the 70,000, by the way. That was not like his end-all deal. So he actually does a deal with AEW, and he's happy with it. He signed the deal. The deal goes until, another year or two from now. So he was on a 4-year or whatever. He signed it. He wasn't mad about the deal. He wasn't. But then it becomes every week. Let's put you in this segment. Let's have you do this. His ratings, his quarter-hour ratings for his segments are higher than a lot of other people. But then they start bringing in these WWE guys, and they're making a lot more money than him. All of a sudden, he looks at the list of what people are making, and he's number 14 on the list. Yet, when it comes to actual ratings and draw and merchandise and whatnot, he's probably second or third at the whole company. Okay? This is what led to the Ariel Helwani shoot interview. He was being legit. He's looking at his options. He's putting it out there early. He's trying to play smart business, and he's a stand-up guy in the back from everything I've heard from anyone who's been anywhere near the guy. He is not a dickhead in the back. It is an act. He is not an asshole. He does a good piece of business. He's a decent stand-up guy. He's not there to fuck anyone over. Also, he's not wrong about what his position is in the company and where he was at. He's getting the third and second highest rated promos out there. He's doing fourth or fifth in merchandise. He's putting asses in seats. He's building other characters for them that they can then make money off of, which then you got to give him some credit for that. If he's building the guy that's selling a t-shirt, then he's responsible for part of that t-shirt sale. He's making the company money. They're bringing in other WWE stars for more that are not making the company the same amount of money he's making. He's not wrong to make these statements when he goes on Ariel Helwani's show. Now,
look at this. Just also to make that point, go back in time 5 hours ago at the top of our program. We talked about Tony Khan on something going nuts defending CM Punk. CM Punk is a cornerstone at AEW right now. This is the guy that Tony wanted to start a company with from the very, very beginning,
Right?
For a good reason. And he
but MJF is the
here's
successful happy accident.
But
CM Punk is the guy Tony always wanted.
Here's the thing: CM Punk showed up, and also I think MJF wasn't a happy accident. I think everyone knew. It's just the platform at MLW.
I mean, I didn't know when he was at MLW. I mean, I started to know as he went out and
only
performed.
so much.
But I know, but I'm saying we all started to know as he went out and he made good on it and he performed.
Tony's, prized horse, CM Punk, shows up and he's handed everything he wants. So he doesn't have to make up, pretend what he wants to do or pretend to be happy with the program. He can work with anyone. CM Punk comes in, wants to work with MJF. This is after Jericho wanted to work with him. And this is after Cody did a program to build up MJF. He's being handpicked by all these people.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you? Oh my God.
So why? And he does the program with CM Punk, holds his own, if not more, to help get CM Punk over and let CM Punk go, all out and show what he can do still. And he's making less than probably what CM Punk pays in taxes.
Correct. But here's where the story gets interesting. That was, in fact, absolutely 100% the truth when he went on Ariel Helwani's show. Tony Khan is not stupid, everybody. He went and had a conversation with MJF. They worked this out a long time ago now. It's not a problem anymore. Here's what they decided to do. MJF got more money. It's still not he didn't back up the fucking money truck to MJF because Tony came to MJF with hey bro, I hear you. So here's the deal. We'll fix it right now. We'll back the money truck up. We'll give you piles of money. We want you to sign for a couple of more years. MJF said, I don't know if I want to sign for more years, but I do want more money right now. And Tony, of course, said, well, but you're under contract right now for less money. And if I'm going to give you more money, I want more contract. This is what happens in the UFC all the time. And Tony has been studying Dana's model all the time. Guys get hungry for money and they say, okay, fine. Look, we'll take your contract from 90-90 up to, a 150-90 contract or whatever for place and win or whatever. But you got to extend for 3 more fights. Dana White does this to people constantly to the point where half the time nobody even finishes a UFC contract because they just keep extending it out further and further to get more money. So Tony tries to do that with MJF. MJF's like, man, I just really can't do that, but I still want more money. So they worked something out. MJF got a little bit of a pay bump. He still only has the 1.5 or 2 or whatever left on his contract. That's what happened. That already happened, everybody. Everybody right now talking about is this a shoot or a work? I'm sorry, guys. It's a work. It started as a shoot, but that shoot moment was on Ariel Helwani's show. And then Tony Khan realized that he had something. Him and MJF were cool. There might still be some legit stuff down the line. But for Tony, even if he loses MJF to WWE, it is worth so much more for him right now, for him as a wrestling mark, as a fan, to be able to do something for the first time that no one else has done, which is to do a Pillman in the era of social media. Here's what I don't like. I don't like that Meltzer is in on it. I think that's bullshit. Do not call yourself call yourself a journalist. Do not tell me that you are the guy I'm supposed to get my news from when you're in on it. When you're in on a fucking work. Bro, are you kidding me right now? And there's a few other guys out there too. They're part of the MMA media and they're helping to work the story. And I get it. And it's kind of fun. And kudos to Tony for getting his buddies to do some of that stuff for him, to plan a story here, to make people think that MJF bought these plane tickets, that there's real dissension. This was the best one. Byron, I don't know where you are, but you're going to like this if you're not listening, because I don't know if you know this little nugget of news yet. Discovery and Warner Brothers issued a statement taking MJF off of the opening part of Rampage and Dynamite. Brilliant.
Yeah, I saw that. No, not just the opening. Of course, he's off the website, but he's off like all advertising and everything.
Oh my God.
Off the networks.
So brilliant.
I'm listening to the whole thing. Yeah, it's a thing. The thing that I see, because as a fan, I'm like, okay, he's cutting the promo. They're doing the great segment that we talked about. We talked about why it was so great. But
we didn't talk about the actual pipe bomb yet. We just talked about the Helwani thing, but the pipe bomb was great.
But the presentation of it, like everything you're doing right now. But to my original point, some people are talking about how MJF worked backstage, worked his coworkers, his peers, and that was kind of a no-no, and that's what's kind of beginning to bother people.
Yeah,
in this business, you make money before you do it. Like someone runs over your dog and kills it in the wrestling business. You're so mad, and then the second thought is, how can the two of us make money off of this?
Here's what MJF is, and here's why he's not going to jump to WWE, and why I don't think Tony is worried about playing this story out for as far as it goes, even to the point where I wouldn't be surprised if he let MJF go and have real, honest-to-God talks with WWE. Because Tony is going to back up the money truck to MJF. Because you know what MJF is? MJF is Conor McGregor. MJF is Conor McGregor and sustainable. Because Conor has to actually win fights. MJF doesn't.
Yeah, he doesn't.
And here's the thing.
He's Stone Cold.
MJF is the talk shit, but back it up guy. Mm-hmm. He talked big as part of his gimmick, as part of his act, but he went out there and he backed it up. And here's the thing about Tony. Anybody who still believes it doesn't know who Tony Khan is. Tony Khan owns a football team and a football team. And for his American football team, not his British football club, he is a statistician. And what I mean by that is he's part of the ownership group with his dad. He is not like an NFL owner just by himself. He's not that big a baller, but he is part of the ownership conglomerate of that team. And he does statistics. He matches up numbers with what rookies they should draft, how their draft should go, what's worth it. When Jalen Ramsey needs to leave, is it worth letting a superstar player go if we get these other 9 guys? You think that he doesn't know how to deal with a wrestler who wants more money? Tony, in 4.5 seconds, had a calculator out, did all the math, and knows exactly what MJF's value is to him. Mm-hmm. He knows exactly how much value he's getting out of the WWE guys that he's brought in. That's a tough spot for Tony. He's got to bring in those big names.
It's also a tough spot for a Big Show. What the fuck does he
listen,
do?
if you're Tony and you're the number 2 ticket in town, and Dixie had a little bit of this problem too, but Tony is a little bit smarter and he's got more money in his pocket to deal with it. You just have to bring him in. You have to bring him in. You give him a bunch of money. You probably only do it for 2 to 3 years if you can. You've got to do it because it might pay off. And if you don't, this fan base and himself as a fan, he's going to hate himself. If he passes up on somebody he thinks is a good talent from the other place that could potentially come over and do something big, and to get those guys right after they come out of there, you got to pay him. You got to.
No, I get the big.
He's in an unenviable position, but also don't think that he doesn't understand the value of MJF. He already knows what he's going to do at the end of MJF's contract. He's already given MJF as much of what he wants. They are handshake and paid and under contract, doing a work together at this point. Yeah. It's disgusting some levels of how the rest of the business is playing along, but I can't believe how many people are still walking around wondering how much is a work and how much is a shoot. It stopped being a shoot the second after he left Ariel Helwani's show, guys.
Yeah.
You didn't hear him talk about it anyplace else after that. There was a month and a half in between there. He went and had the conversation with Tony. Tony took care of him enough. Then Tony, being the mark that he is, worked out the storyline. They worked it out together. maybe not every nuance of it. And now the fact that they have Discovery, Warner Brothers executives in on it, oh my God, that's so great. They were all there, and Tony got them excited and said, oh my God, check this out. You guys are being so good to us right now, because we were worried when they didn't show up at upfronts. But the simple fact of the matter, and I got the story behind that, AEW was not a huge part of upfronts, which they fucked up the little part they were, because they put Red Velvet on the posters. As much as I love her, she's not the face of AEW. But anyway, that was simply a lack of the new leadership at Discovery being prepared. And they were having to make some really tough decisions in their scripted world. They cut all of the scripted shows at TNT. They just cut Raised by Wolves at HBO Max, and there's a few more heads that are going to roll. And that's a Ridley Scott show. Jesus Christ. I mean, they cut Ridley Scott. They've already built sets. They've already got millions invested in that show going for 4 seasons, and they just cut it outright. AEW is not getting that treatment. Discovery Warner loves what's going on there. They like the numbers. They like the positioning of it. They see what WWE sees over there, and that wrestling is becoming more of a commodity and more marketable. Yep. And they're looking at, can we do theme park stuff and more merchandising and licensing and this, that, and the other thing.
Hold on, but you mentioned the word licensing. The thing about pro wrestling, these two shows, WWE, AEW, is one, you have a brand new live show, not seasonal, year-round, 52 weeks. That's worth a lot. 2, it's all original content you own. You're getting the best of the sports world. You're getting the best of the narrative world.
No, it's not. And I'll get to that in a second, but go ahead.
Your show also makes money when it's being made, rather than it being costing money. It makes money through ticket sales, which shows don't do.
So here's one of the things that Tony has not used that he can use coming up. AEW performers, for the most part, keep their names, have the rights to their names and their licensing. What Tony is going to do to keep the ones that he wants around and get rid of some of the ones that he doesn't want to do is that's going to change in 2 years.
Oh, no.
When the big contracts come up and people want the more money, Tony's going to give them the, hey, I can do that for you. I can do some of that for you. But now we got to talk about the licensing. Now we got to talk about the other stuff. I can get you more paid on an action figure. I can get you more paid on this and this and this. But I want in on that. And now you can't take that over there. He's going to have to. It's the same thing that Vince did. And maybe you make some exceptions. You bring in a Ric Flair. All right, Rick, you keep it. You know, you bring in certain names, certain people. Yeah, certain top guys that are already there right now. You never do that deal. But he's going to start having that in his pocket. So here's what's going to happen with MJF. 2 years from now, that contract's going to be up. This storyline will have played out, so none of this will even matter anymore. He's going to back the money truck up to MJF. MJF is going to be one of the first huge licensing deals. He's going to become the most corporate of corporate long-term AEW guys, I think, period. You may never see MJF at this point because of all of this in WWE. It's all genius. It's all brilliant. He is one of the few names in that locker room that anyone at Discovery Warner Brothers knows. They know 4 of the big stars and MJF. And that guy is one of the reasons they're keeping that show on the air. That's one of the big successes of AEW. Everything you see on TV right now with MJF for the next month and a half, because they're going to play this out, they're going to pull you in every direction, is 130% of work right now. And it's a great one. It's one of my favorite ones in years. It's more work than CM Punk's pipe bomb. CM Punk's pipe bomb, he did his pipe bomb thing, and Vince did not like it. Whether part of it was approved or not doesn't matter. They started cooling CM Punk after that. His career started getting janky as hell. This is the exact opposite.
Have you seen the? I quite like the Triple H promo I posted the other day into the chat, where Triple H is calling him out on it and basically being like, "You took your toys, you whine, you cry," and the only reason you really care, Phil, isn't because you're one of these fans and you're one of these people, is because you want to be the top guy and you want to make the most money. That's the only reason. It's not through some thing you tell these people what you want to tell them, and it was just like, oh, it's such a big.
Look, he's got what he wants now. CM Punk has what he wants now. And I think that gave him new life and new meaning. It's like he wasn't lying to Vince when he said it. Like, I want to be the top guy, and if you make me the top guy, I'm going to go out there and work for you. Tony Khan said, okay, I'll make you the top guy. I'll give you the stick. I'll give you the airtime you want. I'll give you the matchups that you want with the guys that I have available to me. I'll give you the money that you want, give you the belt that you want, but come and perform for me. And CM Punk said, yeah, I'm going to do that. And the hilarious thing about that is now he's busted on the shelf. But here's the secret to that one. Yes, he's going to sit out Forbidden Door. CM Punk, the way that they originally talked about his segment this past week, he was supposed to come out and lay the belt down. I heard that some people at Gorilla were miffed that he didn't actually do that. And that he was supposed to lay down the belt and that he went long, so they didn't get to that part and he held on to it. That also is not the case. Apparently, CM Punk and Tony worked it out that he was not going to lay down the belt at all and that they were going to do an interim championship. And then they announced that later. So that they didn't want him to lay down the belt. CM Punk is still the AEW champion. He's going to remain the AEW champion. And Tony Khan is going to try to do a UFC thing. He's literally modeling this after the UFC. He's going to create an interim champion. And then when CM Punk comes back, there's going to be a unification. And it's not going to be as long a sit out as people think. And it may not even keep CM Punk off TV. CM Punk may still do promos. He may still do some setup stuff. He may even do some stuff with Forbidden Door. He's just not going to actually wrestle in the ring because it would bust him up. And they're going to hype this like it's a UFC interim thing. Tony Khan apparently really likes that about the UFC when they don't hold up the whole division because one guy's got to be out for a while for one reason or another. They just create an interim champ, and then they have those two guys face off down the line. Tony looked at that and said, oh, that's exactly what we're going to do. And apparently that was a very short notice decision and with Tony as the head booker that he made and informed CM Punk of. And there were people backstage that knew, but just not everybody. And it didn't matter because it was like CM Punk's getting this much time to go out and cut a promo, and we know what it is. And so he went out and did it. But he did not lay down the belt. There is no heat there at all. He didn't botch the segment. He did it exactly the way apparently that Tony wants to do it to create this interim versus champion thing. And they don't have a specific timeline on it, but they're thinking that maybe it'll happen even at the pay-per-view right after Forbidden Door, whatever that next one is. Like it may be that soon. CM Punk is not going to be out a real long time. I don't imagine Cody is either. I think you're going to see both of these guys relatively still be a part of the product and storylines, even if they're not going full steam in the ring.
Oh, I mean, it would be absolutely insane to keep Cody off of TV. Yeah. It just like he's and Punk, they are some of the biggest stars on their shows. They're being positioned as such, and they so far have been delivering. And they're professionals. They can still do a segment without wrestling. So keep earning your paycheck, you know?
All right. So here's a question I have for you guys.
Yeah.
Is the current NXT product the worst nationally televised wrestling show that we've had in the last 10 years?
It's so bad. It's the storylines, it's everything. It's even like the Cora Jade. I'm a skater girl. I come on my little skateboard.
I was watching some Wendy Chu stuff the other day, and I was just my God. And Natasha Lyons or whatever. I think they got a star there in some fashion, but Jesus Christ, they got to change her ring gear. I don't understand what's going on there.
She's one cut away from being cancelled though.
The new Casey Canizaro being Katana Sword Ninja face, whatever.
Sipping whiskey, getting loose.
I would rather watch a Smurf cartoon too, Goatsy. Have
you seen their the promos before that, Justin? Where basically they were showing them going to all these COVID live during COVID. Obviously, Casey Catanzaro is a massive COVID denier and a lunatic. What you have to be to sleep with Ricochet. I'm just
Which,
saying,
by the way, is more proof that that's not why Cross got out of there. Yeah, look. The whole thing is a hot
They were
mess.
going to these big events in these big like kind of trance dance music festivals, and they were like, everybody's not wearing a mask. It's during the height of COVID, and they were just like, yeah, we like to party. That's who we are. We're the party girls. And they were kind of doing this whole lesbianish vibe.
Which is hot, which is great. I'm fine with that. But I'm saying it's just that program right now, and I get it. Look, it's just more proof of the whole Nick Khan thing. It's a business decision. It is very intentionally done. It was removing the Triple H stamp, taking the stink of outlaw wrestling, as Jimmy Cornette would call it, taking the stink of indie wrestling out of NXT altogether. They do not want it to feel that way. Santos, I believe, has survived because he does not have that stink on him. He is not an indie wrestler. He never was. He was a top guy from Mexico. He knows how to wrestle like a real fucking professional. And then they want everyone else in there to learn from guys like him and for it to be televised OVW. Period. End of story. Nothing else to it. You can go in there. You can try stuff out. The writers can try things. They can see how something fits on somebody. They're trying, dressing down the announcers, doing other stuff, make the crowd feel fun, brighten up the colors, brighten up the color scheme, like make this a fun Saturday afternoon at the local spot show in your gymnasium and make it feel like a fun spot show where you're watching new guys come up. That's it. That's literally it. So I get it. I'm not even saying it's the wrong business choice, but I am saying that of Impact, NWA Power, AEW Rampage, AEW Dark, AEW Elevation, anything that AAA is doing, New Japan, anything that I can get my hands on for an hour of wrestling, even MLW, that is a semi-national level show where pretty much anybody in the country can watch it on a regular basis. It's the worst one.
Yeah, by far.
And it's really sad. They got a time slot. They're on TV. They've got good stars. They've got good agents. They've got writers. They've got lights. Wade Barrett, again, I think is one of the best heel color men out there. Yeah. I think he's done a phenomenal job. He was shit at first. I didn't think he was great when he first got into NXT. I think he really found his place to the point where they don't need Beth Phoenix anymore. They can do a two-man team. Wade holds that fucking thing together as best as possible. But, man, they're just putting on a shit show. None of the wrestling matters. None of the storylines matter. Santos is doing his best with it. I think Braun Breaker's doing his best with it. And a couple of other talent in there are really trying hard, putting out some great stuff, but it just isn't resonating. It doesn't work.
Did you miss the whole Indy Hartwell, Dexter Lumis, Persia Perotti, and the other tall white Australian guy, because everybody's tall, white, and Australian.
Yeah, their whole weird love triangle storyline thing. Look, I like Indy and Dexter Lumis, but he's gone now, right? He's out of there.
Yeah,
they got rid of both their partners. Yeah, they literally had a match on the Sunday, and by the Monday, the female and male from the opposite team went. Yeah,
went bye. But also the way that Vince looks at NXT, and I think what Nick Khan's directive is based on the way Vince looks at it is fine. Yeah. We'll get the stink of all of the ECWs and the outlaw wrestling and all the crap out of NXT, however you want to do it. But then Vince says, I want it to be OVW. Nothing that goes on there matters at WWE because it's not WWE. NXT is not a WWE belt anymore.
Yeah,
I don't think Vince looks at it like WWE. It is OVW on TV, period. Yeah. But OVW gave you John Cena's. It gave you big names. It gave
Batista,
you Brock. And it's not to say, and look, it's going to give you Braun Breaker. It's going to hopefully give guys like Santos a place to work, make money, like be on TV. That's fine.
Yeah.
And that's great. And they'll find some stars out of that and they'll put them up into the WWE system. But it is no longer what they should change the name from NXT. It shouldn't even be 2.0.
Yeah.
It's a whole different ballgame now.
The visual rebrand, I think, really made it something different. I think it's obvious it's something different.
Well, and look, if they want to turn off a guy like me, like I liked NXT when it was in the dark room. Right. I was like, look, don't make this show glossy and whatever. That's exactly what they want to get rid of.
Yeah.
They want it to be Saturday morning wrestling.
No, they want everyone that's working there. And I also read something a while back. This isn't like exclusive news, but I read something where they're going to be doing tryouts. They're going to be hiring at a shorter interval. They're also going to be letting people go. There's more of a revolving door.
It's going to literally be like OVW was.
Yeah.
Like
it's basically get to the point of, are you going to be a money-making WWE superstar? And, that's an Austin Theory. That's someone who you're like, this is a wrestler and he fights, but you don't feel like a visceral...
man, when I saw him in Mav Pro, I said to myself immediately, like, Austin Theory's a WWE guy. He looked like $1 million. His work rate was great.
Yeah.
And his gimmick wasn't getting over with an indie crowd.
Right.
But he was still like a guy that I could recognize of like, okay, you're never going to be a star in this Moose Hall where Kevin Cross is over and Chris Bay is over and Katarina is over. And like, even B-Boy came in that night and was over because he's gritty and he's hardcore. You're not a throw a trash can guy. You're a guy I want to see do, a springboard lariat and point your finger and shake it and wag it at people. Like you're that other guy.
Yeah. But
and I saw JD Drake the same night and I thought something completely different for him. And I'd love to see that he is in AEW with the Workhorseman thing. That guy is fucking phenomenal. He is a great spot show heel. And the question is, can they find something to do with him as a main card guy besides be a jobber? Because I think he's much better than that. And he could be real good for that roster. I think he could teach some of those young bucks, not literally the young bucks, but some of those younger guys in the back, a lot of stuff. He's a great wrestler. I
mean, everywhere else he is featured in a much different light. It's not like, up and down or this or that. I'm glad
he's a top heel at a spot show is what you're saying. And he is.
Yes. And
because he can work a room. He can work a cold room into a frenzy, piss everybody off, wrestle a great match, protect everyone doing it, work the microphone. He is a guy that you can send into any town to make your show hotter.
And the match is going to be good.
And the match is going to be good.
It's like there's certain things, there's certain spots or moves or like just.
But that's what they told us about Cody's buddy, who's the guy with the wrestling school, whose name I can't ever remember. The
Apple guy?
No,
QT Marshall?
QT Marshall.
Yeah, see,
they told us he was JD Drake. He's not.
No. Personally, for me, I think QT Marshall is great. I love QT Marshall. I think he is 1,000% effective in a specific role. I think he's a great teacher. I think he's very skilled at wrestling. And when AEW was super shallow during the pandemic, he helped fill in, which is cool. I'm completely ignoring his program with the bunny. But he's teaching these kids, and he knows how to work cameras, work TV. So he goes on dark and runs programs with the kids that he's teaching, just like Hook went through him for something. And I think he's
but please, we got to give that time now to Ethan Page or JD Drake or some other guy.
Don't put him on Dynamite. Don't put him on TV.
Don't put JD Drake on TV. Put him on
JD Drake. No. QT
Don't
Marshall.
put QT Marshall on it. Yeah,
I think QT Marshall should stay within a certain bubble, and the point should be the people he's teaching should look better and move on.
All right, here's my last question for you guys, and this is it. This is all I got. My last question. Is Sasha Banks the 2022 Ivelisse?
Okay. Me is going to have a lot to say. I'm going to say that I don't think anyone cares about her anymore. Did you see Cody's torn pec? Cody's torn pec overruled everything. You don't need her. I think she's a huge star.
And unlike her hair, it was real.
Oh, wow.
I don't have a problem with her hair.
Did he just say something about a black woman's hair?
Oh, no.
Oh,
I hate the fact that she put think she puts it on, and then it always ends up halfway back ahead.
That's you. Oh no!
I mean,
getting worse.
Someone's doing a shit weave job. That's all I'm saying.
You can't.
You know,
you can't. First of all, Justin.
He's got to. Well, he does mandatorily have to watch Chris Rock's good hair now, but that's a whole different story.
I mean, not only are you the whitest of the white men, just by looking at you, two, you're British. How many colonies do they have across the world? Right?
Quite a lot.
We only like had one period we enslaved like one group of people, and we just glossed it over.
To be fair, you didn't do that. The British did it, and then we took over your country, and we brought slavery to your country.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, just saying.
I mean, I guess I'm glad you brought me here, but could you not have given us better accommodations?
Well, to be fair, Justin, we not only did we steal some of your people from your country and take it to America. Sorry, we also starved the Irish.
True, which is my other half.
Let's not start talking about the Irish. I'm going to get really upset
because of their religious beliefs. Persecuted them, which meant they left and went to America.
You can tell Meef is not necessarily a fan of his own people as much as he cuts on other countries. He cuts on his own as much.
I want the Queen to fuck off.
Sasha Banks. Here's my prediction. I've told this to Byron. For our Jubilee, for our vote of non-Jubilee.
Our what?
Whatever. Our golden Jubilee and vote of no confidence.
Getting
Sasha Banks. Here's what I predict is going to happen. Tony Khan is going to hire her. He doesn't have a choice.
Right.
He's going to pay her a certain amount of money. I get why she did it, but she doesn't understand what she did. She did the exact opposite of Cody Rhodes, which was Cody went out of his way to make the show go on when he didn't have to. Sasha went out of her way to try to keep the show from going on when that wasn't the right thing to do. Look, you showed up for work.
Someone else into it.
Yeah, you showed up for work. You didn't like your storyline. Acceptable. I get it. Dewdrop and Nikki ASH being in there and getting the shine on you and this, that, and the other thing. I understand 100%. And she is at a level where a lot of performers at her level have done a lot of shady shit in the back to protect their spot. You know, if you look at WCW in the late 90s, Jesus Christ, every fucking guy who was a half a mid-card name was doing exactly what Sasha just did there.
The thing is, though, with the Naomi thing, is she got Naomi because of Naomi's connections to Roman Reigns. She specifically targeted someone she thought couldn't get her fired.
No, but it's not even just that. Look, Naomi is also a big girl, and she walked in there and did it right with Sasha. And they had a talk about, like, are we really going to do this? From everything I understand, they went back to the locker room, back to their dressing room. They had a conversation. They went to creative and said, fuck you guys. We're not doing this. We're taking our ball today, and we're going home. They said it together. So Naomi, we all know she's not going to get as much heat in the long run because we know that Sasha instigated it. The company knows that too.
Sasha is the more, I would say, from character, kind of, she comes across more manipulative.
I don't think she was
to say the right thing to Naomi to get Naomi into it. If you know what I mean.
She just
needs a few nuggets.
I think she didn't think it through. I think she's just like Evilise in the fact that I love Evie. I don't think Evie. She doesn't think things through, though. She doesn't see it the way that other people see it, so she doesn't think it through. I think Sasha's got that problem. So I think what's going to happen is Tony's going to give her a job. Well, he's going to have to. If she's a free agent on the market that he can have,
he's got to,
he has to bring her in. He's going to bring her in. People are going to hate it. People are going to sour on it. It's not going to work out very well. She's going to be gone probably from there, maybe even before the end of her contract. It may or may not be worth any money. But after that, I think she's going to come into AEW. I think it's not going to be as prestigious for her. I think she's not going to have the help. I think she doesn't realize how good she did have it at WWE.
Yeah.
Compared to when she gets to AEW and there's no writers. She's going to love it on day one. Like, I get to go out and do this and this and this. Yeah. And then by day 20, when she realizes that there's no one there that cares about her, that's going to do anything for her, that they're not going to make her more of a star, that they're there to glom off of the star power that she already has. They're just going to use her up, bring her out to dry, and she's going to complain and bitch and moan about it. She's going to cause
she'll be sat in a corridor crying a little tears.
Well, then she's going to leave there, and if Hollywood doesn't take her, she's going to be fucking third-tier Impact player 6 years from now.
She can still hang out with Steve Aoki though, so she's that's cool.
No, but I think number one, her and Sasha Naomi's contracts are frozen. I don't know what the limits are to that, how long it can be, because like they didn't freeze Candace's when she was pregnant, although there's a pretty long-standing legal precedent that they're trying, or legal mess they're trying to avoid with that. But like they frozen some, that they froze like Ray's, they froze one of FDR's contracts.
Well, Sasha and Naomi were in clear violation of their contracts.
Yeah. So that's the thing. Like, when is she going to be a free agent?
I believe on the freeze, if they don't unfreeze it at some point, because if they unfreeze it, it resets. But if they leave the contract frozen, I believe it's a 6-month no compete before a straight release. So it's 6 months with no pay, where she can go out and do other work, but not on national wrestling television.
So I think that one of the big things,
they're going to freeze her out, or maybe even pay her some more. Keep her as off TV for as long as possible as they can. Then they'll let Naomi come back after that, and they'll rebuild her a little bit, because she does have the
Triple H moment.
And then I don't know that she'll ever be a big player again. She'll be chasing around people for a 24/7 title or some bullshit. But she'll get her job back. And Sasha will not. And Sasha will have to go to AEW, and Tony will bring her in the fucking day that he can for $12 million or whatever the fuck he's got to pay her. And we'll see what happens from there. But I predict that that's going to end in catastrophe too, and she's just Evilise.
I don't think it's guaranteed. I think that, AEW across the board, there's ebbs and flows. Like, she's going to come in, just, it's going to be like a version of like Ruby Soho's thing. She'll come in hot, do a program, and then it's someone else's time to get TV time. And then she'll have another program later on. And maybe she'll have bigger programs, longer periods of time, but she's going to come and go.
Do you think that JR can say Mercedes Varnado?
Oh my God!
With
he's definitely going to call her Sasha Banks
at the minute, right? And the money issue, the thing, right, is she has opened herself up to being sued.
Yeah.
By what? As an independent contractor hired to do a job.
Yeah.
She's refused to do her job. So this non-compete stuff, they could drag her thing through the courts for years.
And I think they're going to.
And it's not Vince. Remember, it's not Vince anymore.
Mr. Khan.
Vince runs a family, for better or worse. Nick Khan runs a business with the bottom lines. I think,
and also I think Nick Khan is getting pressure from even some of the boys, some of the agents, some of the other people, a lot of people. And this is where she read the room wrong. If other people in back were backing her up on like, no, you guys can't screw her over like that. That's totally fucked. She's worked really hard, blah, blah, blah. That wasn't the case. Everyone was saying, oh my God, lady, like, Cody Rhodes is back here and he had to be fucking Stardust. What are you bitching about? That you got to fucking take a splash from Widow or whatever? Like,
that's a great point. Sasha Banks was upset because she became a tag team champion, and tag team champion didn't mean anything. And it's like, hold on,
what is going to happen when you go to your agent backstage and it's fucking Jamie Noble or the Hurricane or one of these guys, and these motherfuckers are going to look at you like, bitch, I jobbed to Doink.
No, it's no.
Job to Brooklyn Brought. Like, what are you talking about?
Justin, that's dating yourself, not me.
Maybe
at all. What these guys went through, the era they lived, was when the Kiss My Ass Club was the thing.
Oh yeah. 100%.
And it's like, so Vince will do the gimmick too, just like everyone else. He'll do everything before he asks someone to do it or whatever.
Like, there's no sympathy back there. These are guys
that don't have to do it.
Potatoes from Shane. These are guys that, I mean, I'm just like
they've been chokeslammed by the Undertaker through tables.
You want to talk about just reading a room wrong, like Sasha. I get it. It's a new age, and everyone understands. Like this isn't the go out and have drinks with Ric Flair and harass the stewardess era of wrestling anymore. It isn't Bradshaw running the locker room, but at the same time, there's a lot of people back there that paid a lot of dues that were worse off than your $2 million a year. Sorry, I know only $250,000 is her contract, but with all the merchandising and everything else that WWE gives her that they don't have to, she makes $2 million a year.
Well, they made her.
And they're looking at her like, are you kidding me? You have one creative issue. We haven't heard anything else from you on your whole current run. And you're mad because the tag belts, the women's tag belts don't mean more. How about we just take the women's tag belts off of TV altogether, not do anything with them, and send you home?
Justin, she's Snoop Dogg's cousin. How can they treat her like this?
Yeah. Right, and that'll get her a job at AEW. And Snoop Dogg will come in and he will cut a hot promo for her in AEW saying F WWE. I can see it now. It's going to be great television for 3 weeks.
Yeah, but so I mean, I think
hope that's worth your $12 million, Tony, or whatever it's going to cost you.
I mean,
3 weeks of hot TV.
The thing is, this is why you signed JR. This is why JR, whatever. But this is why I signed JR. This is why you signed Big Show, Mark Henry. I actually hear and he's helping out and contributing, and I think he's also good on his role on TV. But you sign all these names because when you do your TV deal, that adds to what you get paid. That's what the network pays for, regardless of the angle they ran, regardless if Big Show can run the ropes 3 times, back and forth without getting winded or something breaks on him. None of that matters. He's a star. You're like,
he's a 25-year vet.
And
you're putting a star.
And
like
those
he's
are the
earned
decisions
that
those decisions may have in fact paid dividends now, because when Discovery bought Time Warner and thusly the AEW TV rights, they took a hard look at it. And that kind of level of marketability and familiarity and things that they can understand, it's exactly what Nick Khan's doing in a different way, but it paid dividends. It's part of why they are in good with Discovery right now. They're not going anywhere. They're going to be around for a while. They may be able to start doing their pay-per-views right in the HBO Max app, just like WWE does in Peacock. There may be real big upside for Tony having the Paul Whites and the Mark Henrys and the John Moxleys and these other guys that are never going back. Jericho's going to go back.
No, some of them have to go back for the. It's the Hall of Fame.
Correct. Jericho's got to go do one more run at the other place.
The Shield maybe get it, I suppose, at some point.
Moxley's not going back, though.
Moxley doesn't care. I mean, maybe, but I just don't think
they might back the money truck up to him just to do a Shield thing, but I don't see it.
But so based on that, I think Sasha will be worth. She has some super high value based on that, regardless. But she's going to have to figure out, her and Tony, her and whoever's making it work, needs to figure out how she can part-time wrestle. If she can go in and do the wrestling she likes to do,
it will never work. She was a creation of WWE.
Yeah.
And I don't think she knows how to be that without a staff of 20 people putting her into her character every day. She in real life is not Sasha Banks. Yes, John Moxley was not in real life Dean Ambrose, but John Moxley had John Moxley to go and be. No, she does not have a Mercedes Renato to go and be. She doesn't have something there.
Can I tell you, I liked what Sasha was doing in NXT before she became super huge in the level that she's at. She's going to have to drop down from being a giant pop star to being like a whatever.
But that's what they're paying for. To do that. Pop star. I don't think I think she's going to try to do it, and she's not going to know how to do it.
Yeah. But I will say, John Moxley, when he was in FCW, right before and as it changed to the NXT, you can find this on Reddit, or you could just hit me up in the DM, Byron Fever. I have it saved. He did this. His character in FCW was actually like old school John Moxley as Dean Ambrose, and he had this program with William Regal, which was absolutely like the best thing.
You bring it up every time we talk.
Every time, the best thing he did in under the WWE banner, getting paid by them for whatever version of it. It's great. He was doing this character, and it was him doing it all. It was, him and Regal. Regal was doing his stuff, but like, yeah, no one told Moxley what to do. Yeah, Sasha was Mercedes for all. I loved Sasha because I started watching her at the beginning of all that when there was like the Sasha's Ratchet chants and all that stuff.
Look, and she's gonna. Thanks for the comment, by the way. But,
yeah, thank you.
Like, she's gonna have to figure out what Mercedes is without the machine.
Yeah,
and I just don't know that she can get back there. I just don't know.
We'll
see. But like, look, man, look. I will be very happy for her and for wrestling if she can prove me wrong.
I will. I think. It'll be going in a direction of, it sounds weird. I think if it works, she's going to have to turn more into FTR than Sasha Banks.
Yeah, I could see that.
And the thing as well is, I think if they do the legal route, it's just going to take forever. And by that,
yeah, but it doesn't matter when. I mean,
she'll probably end up not wrestling. I can just say it, probably going into Disney.
At some point, it has to end. At some point, it will end. And at that point in time, Tony Khan will offer her more money than Hollywood. It'll be the best thing on the table for her. Doesn't matter if it's 4 years from now. He'll still do it. He'll still have to do it. I think it'll be in the 6 months. I think that they'll mess with her. They'll tease it around a little bit, and then they'll let it go because Nick Khan's got bigger fish to fry. He'll be like, fine, just go away. I'm done with this. And that's what's we'll see. Anyway, this has been the 180th episode of Masks, Mats, and Mayhem. One day we will get to 200, but at the rate we're going right now, it's going to take another 12 years to get 20 more episodes because we're doing one every 9 months, I think is our pace right now. So anyway, for @MeFlo, for @Byron Fever, Jim and Casey aren't here, but we love those guys anyway, even if they never come on the show ever again.
See you guys at the Circle 6
They're still
show.
great. Everybody who's watched is great. Hope to see you at Expo Lucha if you're there.
Yeah, Expo Lucha, Philadelphia.
And if you're not, until next time, stay calm and stay in the mix.
Penis.
Oh, yeah.